wait. I'm dying, don't wait.
Don't wait.
I need your help, don't wait.
Don't wait. Don't wait till I die.
Please help me, don't wait.
Don't wait.
Don't wait, don't wait, don't wait.
Don't wait.
I need you help me now,
Don't wait. Don't wait till I die.
Don't wait till I die before you help me. If you want to help me right now. Don't wait, oh sister. Don't wait. I said don't wait. My brethren, don't wait. Don't wait till I die before you help me. I need your help. Help me right now. I'm in the hospital, lying on my sick bed. I just need you to help me one my life, and Jehovah will bless you. Don't wait till I die to rain cast and get my body to the grave. I said don't wait when I die before you praise me. Don't wait when I die to cry for me, man. Oh, don't wait when I die to post my photo. This woman was so sick. She was saying got up on her day. I said she went from place to place, but she could not get the treatment she needed. Finally, her son took her to the hospital. And the doctor said they should bring 5 pounds of blood. But this woman could not afford the money. Oh yeah, even her son could not afford the money. He left the mother at the hospital. He went to family member. He went to Uncle Johnny place. He said, Uncle, my mother is at you. I left my mother at the hospital. And the doctor said, we should bring 5 pounds of blood. Uncle, please help my mother. Uncle, help my mother. Uncle, I beg you, help my mother. Please help my mother. Oh, uncle, help her before she dies. Johnny looked in her face. He said, my son, I don't have no money, oh. My son, no money, oh. What tell your mama say? I don't have no money, oh. I will see what to do. But next week, my son, no money, oh. He went to Auntie Esther's place. He said, Auntie, my mother is dying. I left my mother at the hospital, and the doctor said we should bring 5 pounds of blood. I have come to beg you, Auntie, help my mother. Auntie, please help my mother. Oh, Auntie, help her before she died. Yes, I woke up, entered the house. She brought 500 from her money. She said, my son, I wish you well. I wish you well. What tell your mama say? I wish her well. He left, he went to Uncle Pa's place. Papa was so rich. He was rich. He had everything for his disposal. He said, Uncle, my mother is at you. I left my mother at the hospital. And the doctor said, we should bring 5 pounds of blood. Uncle, please, don't allow my mother to die. Uncle, please, don't allow mama to die. Oh, you are my last hope, my last strength, my last hope. Uncle, please, don't allow mama to die. First to die, he looked at the boy. He shrugged his head. He said, my son, I don't have money. You. I'm getting my salary by next month, oh, my son. I don't have money. You. Go tell your mama, say, I bet you a condition. The boy left. He started crying. He said, oh, God, Papa, God, this life is not fair. What will not become of my mother? Who would I call my mother? Before he reached out the hospital, his mother was gone. He took his phone. He started calling Uncle Paul. He was crying, Uncle Paul, Mama is no more. Mama is gone, and left alone. Mama is gone, no. Oh, Uncle Paul, Mama is no more. He said, sorry, my son, don't worry. I'm sending her to take her to the funeral. Don't worry, my son, I'm responsible for a funeral. My son, don't worry, I'm responsible for wakekeeping. Oh, my son, keep courage, don't worry. As I said, I will do the dressing. And then Johnny said, I will do the rain. Oh, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Oh, yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I come.
Good afternoon, folks. Welcome to the program. I'm Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We want to welcome you to this broadcast. This beautiful, nice Sunday afternoon here from the East Coast. Today, the conversation going to take a dimension. I want to take a drastic change here on some of the issues that are affecting the country. But we in the media, politicians, and stakeholders are not discussing these issues. So we all are responsible. We know the history of one of Liberia's staple food. But how much is being invested in today? So today I have a special guest here, a young Liberian who was aggressively involved within the agriculture industry here. But while we in the media industry are not having this conversation. Thank you so much. This is my restaurant in Grangida County. Good afternoon, good evening, happy Sunday, whatever you are. We want to welcome you to this broadcast. Share this podcast. We are about to discuss the country in its totality. And that's the commitment we sign out for. No bond, nothing should be left behind the same. I need not to relegate the 1979 rice riot. Rice is a political commodity. It is a political issue. There's no way we all know exactly what happens. A peaceful march at the executive mansion then turned into violence, which subsequently we all know what happens. It's GOL, Liberians, you, me, have we done enough to be self-sufficient? The blame game is always on the government of the Republic of Liberia. Is it fair? Are we making a fair analysis as well? Well, they have all of the resources to create the avenue. But that does not even deter a peaceful Liberians and also a Liberians to embark and invest into our staple food. You can eat anything all day. Liberia men and get here rice. Say, I have not eaten anything, which is not true. If this is so, How serious are we taking this? Well, Armstrong JARGBAH is the CEO of Agricultural Liberia Industries. Liberia Public Radio has managed to get in hold of him because we have followed his work extensively. We're wondering, how is he doing this? How he got to this point? This is something that originated from the family and then passed over, or was it in place before Mr. JARGBAH took place? These apprehensions, we decided to put it to a rest and ask him to join us here today. And where is he getting his money? Who providing the subsidy? The government, friendly government, or the NGO? Or is you on your own? Yeah, we cry, we whine, we complain. No food in the country. So what are we doing to get this food stuff in the country? Not just on the rice, but other crops. The difficulties, the challenges, the task ahead. What does he hope to achieve? Is there anything going to hold him back? Has he reached out to all relevant institutions, and what are their understanding? Well, Mr. JARGBAH is here this afternoon to have a conversation, to get a sense of how he got to this point, what motivated him, and how long. Where does he want to see it ending? Or is he being wearing out because perhaps no support? I am just making a guess game here, but he will settle the score. I am Alfonso Zienso of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Stay tuned, share the podcast, and invite someone at your companies. We are talking about your rice, something that you love, something that I love. You eat fufu, you swallow GB, you don't eat rice, you not eat anything. This show is about to get on the way. Welcome to the show. Okay, good evening, welcome. Let me just get this volume here. Welcome to the show. Thank you so much for your time, for your evening, for your afternoon, morning, whatever you find yourself. Let me just bring in my guest. The guest is already here. Mr. Armstrong JARGBAH is here already joining me here. Let me bring him here and see here. Let's get his visions, his idea. If you could just maybe adjust your camera, Mr. JARGBAH, we will. Are you hearing me?
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yeah, okay. Just if you can just get your camera down so that it will fit the screen a little bit, we will really appreciate that. Okay.
You need to carry it up or get it down. Let me see.
Get it down a little bit. I want us to, if it's possible, to be on the same level, and I want the viewers especially to see exactly who is Armstrong. We've been seeing a lot of images, picture. Okay, that's not bad. That is okay. Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of images here. Hold on one second. Let me do a quick review here, and we will get right down to the wire so that we can have this conversation going. Okay, just bear with me a little bit. All right. Okay, let's get the ball going. To all our viewers, our listeners, whatever you are, thank you so much for joining this conversation. Sometimes we need to put politics aside and address some of these issues that we blind deliberately on purpose not to discuss. Reason I just don't know. Okay, Mr. JARGBAH, right? Is that the right name?
Right.
Okay. Okay. Good afternoon, and how you doing? Nice to have you here. We are honored and great to have you on the Liberia Public Radio. How are you?
Well, thank God I'm doing very well. Thank you for having me, my brother Alfonso.
Okay. Okay, look,
Do you hear me?
Hearing you loud and clear. I've been all out there
That's
looking
good.
who is this gentleman, who is Armstrong, and we managed to get connected. The story is long. We need not to do the what is of issues is the conversations we are about to have. But first of all, I will give you the opportunity to introduce yourself to my listening audience, the public, to know exactly who we're speaking with, and then we'll get down to the issue. Yeah, you can go ahead. I was just asking that if you can introduce yourself so we'll get down to the issue.
Okay, I can hear a little bit vibration,
Are you hearing me now?
but can you hear me clearly?
I'm hearing you loud and clear. Okay, well, we're having challenges here. Hopefully, we're going to get it worked out. Just bear with us. I believe he's here. Let's see. Let me just get him off the screen. Okay, he's off, but we hope to get him back here as soon as he comes. We're going to have it, and that's basically what we want to. This is something this young man is heavily involved, invested in, and we just want to have a conversation and give him the opportunity exactly how he got into this business, what is the help, if there's any help for that matter, and where is it coming from, and how long he has been in this agriculture business, growing food in Liberia, not just on the rice, but different other crops as well. So we hope this internet going to do us a favor here to have this conversation here. This is some of his product things that they are doing. People are there heavily involved in farming. So it is important that we have this conversation to know exactly what he's doing, how he's doing it, and what we need to know. What it is going to be a little learning process here as well. Just bear with us here. It's having little challenges to get him on here. We hope that the system will do us a favor to have this here. In the meantime, let's see whether we can bring you some of the news and information making headlines across the globe and other parts of the world while we wait for our guests to join us here again, and then we can have the conversation. I am Afonso Ziensot of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv here this beautiful Sunday here, the 22nd of January, 2023. The time is already slipping away here. Just bear with us. As soon as he comes back, we're going to bring him here. But let's just let's take a rendezvous on some of the news making headlines across the globe. Being reported by major cable news network as well. The 1,000 gatherers in Tanzania. Opposition holds the first rally since ban lifted. So you can see it according to France 24. Jubilation, thousands of Tanzanians in the street since the ban has been lifted. Burkina Faso gave French troop a month to leave, says the local media. Let's see here. Mr. JARGBAH is back with us here. Hopefully this internet will do us good here. Okay, are you there, Mr. JARGBAH?
Right.
Okay, good. Hopefully it stays like that. All right, let's just get straight down to the issue. I was just asking you to just introduce yourself to my listening audience and the public and to know who is Armstrong. So the name has been for quite a while now on the social media in terms of things that you do. Just a few seconds, introduce yourself, and we're going to get a conversation going.
Thank you very much, Alfonso. Well, I'm Armstrong JARGBAH, a Liberian. I was born in Liberia. And by the special grace of God, I was able to travel to the U.S. and to study. And now today, I find myself growing food.
Oh, okay. So you find yourself growing food. Okay, we need to know the kind of food that you're growing. All right. Thank you. You are the CEO of the Liberia?
Agriculture Liberia.
Agriculture Liberia.
Right.
That's quite interesting. Agriculture Liberia. Usually people own creations, they tie it to their own name, family name, or some maybe that name. But you take a holistic approach. Agriculture Liberia.
Yeah.
How you got to this name?
Thank you very much, my brother. So when I came to the US, I decided to learn about plants, how to not just food, but how to grow all plants. Because I understood that my people were suffering back home in Liberia. Our people don't have food. And we just have the same rest problem all the time for more than 170 years. So I decided to learn about plants, to go back home, to grow food for my country. But it was not easy, my brother, because, back home in Liberia, our people are not supportive, and the government and what have you, when it comes to agriculture. So, so I decided to do this on my own. So I and my wife we were in Houston, Texas. We gave away our house to raise money. We got a little 2-bedroom house, and then we saved a lot of money. And then the money was not sufficient, so I told my wife we got to give away your vehicle. So it was not easy. She gave away a vehicle. I gave
Hold on
away.
one second. Hold on. This is a very interesting. You get into a very interesting story here. You told your wife to give away her vehicle.
Yes.
And I'm a guy who was curious. I will give you the opportunity. What time was it? Afternoon, morning? Do you remember having the time you had a conversation? Because
so this what happened. This is what happened. I came to her, and said, "Baby, look, our country is suffering. Our people are struggling. They are hungry. And I learned how to grow plants. I learned how to grow food. And God is leading me, to grow food for our country. But we have to make the sacrifice because our people back home, government, they won't give us the resources we need. Therefore, we have to make the sacrifice. So I want us to give away our home, give away our vehicle to raise money to start to grow food for our country. It was not easy. My brother, we pack our things in the public storage in Houston. There's a guy called Nancy who helped us. Now, I remember my wife stood in the middle of the public storage and she was crying. She said, "Armstrong, are you sure? Are you sure what you are doing?" I said, "Baby, I'm 100% sure God spoke to me. We need to do this for our country. We got to make a sacrifice. We got to sacrifice for our country." And so we give our house away. My wife had a silver Lincoln Navigator. We gave it away. I have a silver Dodge truck. We gave it away. And then we're able to save the money to start the project in Liberia. That's how we raised the money.
This is quite interesting. Life is a venture. Nobody knows how it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, how you took these decisions as an individual or as a person that what sort of signal was that? What was your calculation?
Someone got to make the sacrifice. For 175 years, our people.
Oh, this internet here, hopefully don't do this to us here. This is quite interesting conversation here. We really want to learn. That's how it's a game-changing story here. Just bear with us. Hopefully the internet would do all a favor. That's how the devil sometimes gets busy when you're having some real conversation of substance where it would touch people's lives and people can be changed to different things, and that's where you see these sort of things happening. Just bear with us. Hopefully, all right, he's off again, but we will see what happened. Just bear with us. Let's have this. We're gonna have this conversation. Let's see here. Let's give a little bit nice music here while we wait for it. It's getting to be very interesting. Okay, he's here. Or and I'm seeing here consistency as well, doing everything possible. How the devil can start, because when you try to gain it, but I care what we do, myself, we all high here. So okay,
we're good.
So you give away everything.
Yeah.
You give away your thing to take that. I would see it as an ultimate gamble that you wanted to do this.
Yeah.
And then you decided to go Liberia. Both of you went to Liberia together?
Look, my brother, let me tell you this. You will be surprised when I tell you this story. We raised the money, we gave away our house, we gave away our vehicles, raised the money, and then I came on Facebook to look for Liberians to do the job. So I came on Facebook, led by God, and found the youth, picked some youth from Liberia on Facebook. I've never seen them in my life. I don't know where they live. I don't know them. I only came on Facebook, got in contact with them, and told them God wants me to grow food for my country, and I want them to work with me. And I gathered the youth from Cotton University, from the Tubman University in Maryland, from the University of Liberia, and I brought together 73 persons. And then we did a county tour. I told them to visit the counties to give me the data that I need to know the kind of plan to put together to grow food for our country. And then I started to send them money, 5,000, 10,000. These are people I don't know. I haven't seen them.
United States dollars?
United States dollars.
Are you crazy?
10,000.
People you don't know.
Up to now, I haven't seen them. Up to now, I haven't seen them. They all working for me in Liberia. I don't know where they live. I haven't seen them. I just sent the money. Since I started farming in Liberia, it's been 9 years. I've never visited. I left Liberia more than 30 years ago. I've never stepped back. Everything you see me do in Liberia, the farming, I sit in my house on my computer and direct everything. I stay up whole night training the children in Liberia, teaching them what to do. They are not related to me. They haven't seen me in their life, but they follow my instruction. And that's how I'm growing food from county to county, using the youth of Liberia. They have not seen me before. I don't know where they live, but I believe God, that God gave me the vision to grow food for my country. So therefore, I just took the risk and used to send 5,000, 10,000, sometimes 11,000, 14,000 United States dollars. And that's, you see the work going on in Liberia today. That's why I never, sometimes some Liberians come and say, but Armstrong, how you said in the United States, you are not in Liberia, you never visited Liberia once, and everything is just unique, everything is organized. And we can see the production on the ground in Liberia, but you have not traveled to Liberia. The people are working for you, you have not even seen them. It is God.
Now you get me frozen here. You remember when Rick Perry was on our podiums on the interview and they asking, and then he got frozen. That's what literally you are doing to me here.
Yeah, everything you see in Liberia, I never traveled there. Never traveled there.
Let's turn the camera. Armstrongs, you are going on record. Are you saying all of his work and a lot of the things we've been saying here, you don't know those people, you just took the risk, like it's a risk.
I met them on Facebook. I met them on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know where they live. I've not seen them before, but I believe that God gave me the vision to grow food for my country, so I took the risk.
No, this is quite interesting here, and I'm glad that you honor our invitation to have it. These are the kind of conversation we need to be having, and that might sound ridiculous here, but that's who I am. Ridiculous in the sense of our national leaders, people who want state power, be it the presidency, the lawmakers, and all of they are all, including myself. I'm not getting out of it here because we are not having these conversations that are sustainable to the country, and people create all sorts of drama to waste of time, and then we complain. Now, how many persons working for you as we speak?
I started in 2014. We started the first project in Mangibi County, was 73 persons in Mangibi. I used to feed them every day and pay them twice a month, every 2 weeks. I will pay each person $5 US a day. And then we have the ones that call daily hire, people who just come in and do small works, about 50, 60%. And then we move on to Bond County. And then I hire people in Bond County. From Bond County, I moved to Nima County, where I hire 100 persons in Nima County. And then we grow rice, pepper, onion, tomatoes, everything in Nima. And now we're in how they call Maryland County. So when you look at my workforce, it's centered around, let's say, about 500. But my main people, I get about at least about 100 persons. But the other people, what we call daily hire.
Yes, people, it's casual workers, contract, then they come and do some services and you pay them.
Yeah.
You go. How long you been in this here? How long on top of your head you started this whole work? You say what, 2014?
2014 in Liberia, doing early administration.
2014.
Yeah. 2014 when I
going through your head, you sit here, sit on the computer,
yeah,
give away your home, give away your car, you
Yep.
talk to your wife, let's do this. She was crying. I guess you pull your dark
She was
shades on
crying.
because you don't want
What
sympathy to
happened?
factor in.
She was crying, and then I left her alone. So when she was going to work in the morning, we had a small vehicle. She left the key on the table. So when she left the key on the table, I knew that she agreed. So I called Capital One and told them to come to pick up the car. And they came and got the vehicle. At least we're able to save the extra $500 plus the insurance to add it to the body to be able to take care of the farms in Liberia. So it was not something people. Some of my friends, they thought I was crazy. People say you crazy, but I knew I heard from God. I knew I heard from God. So people were calling me crazy and all kind of things. Today, those same people are saying to me, Armstrong, we thought you were crazy, but now we are seeing that truly it is God who is using you.
Is there something maybe from the parents' side that's where this was originated? I'm kind of a little bit curious here because it's getting to be very interesting. Your dad or granddad, were farmers? That's something they pass on, you know, how things pass on from one generation to generation. I'm kind of trying to get ahead of my shadow here.
Thank you very much. I was born in Sano County, Greenville. My grandparents, I grew up with my grandparents because my father died in 1980. We were in Monrovia when my father passed in 1980 after the coup. My mother took me to how they call the place to Greenville to live with my my mother took me to Greenville to live with my grandparents, and she traveled to the US. So I was there with my grandma. My grandma loved to farm. So we had goats. We're raising goats. We're raising chicken. We're raising ducks. And then there's a guy called Axie that was stopping my grandparents. And he went to the University of Liberia and did agriculture. So he was my mentor. So he's one who was teaching me how to grow tomatoes, to grow pepper, to grow beta ball, all the kind of stuff. I was learning from him as a young guy growing up. And then I just pick it up and master it. So when I came to the US, even the white people, they were surprised to see the kind of work I was doing. The kind of work, and they started to tell their brothers, sisters. I came here, I didn't have I came to the US. But when I started my corporation, when I raised up my corporation, especially horticulture, within less than 1 year, I have 300 clients because the news was spreading everywhere. This guy from Africa can grow food. He know how to grow plants. So I had white people calling me and working for them, and that's how I pick up started my business in America. So when I left school, I said, you know what? Since I came to Bible college, and I see that God gave me the talent of growing plants, and I would just switch from Bible to agriculture, and that's how I switched from Bible to agriculture and started my own company in the US. And started growing all kinds of plants, any kind of plant, flower, shrub, tree you think about, I can grow it. I've been doing it since from my youth, and that's why I master it. When you see my plants that are growing in the US, you can't compare it to anything. Perfect.
Wow.
It's a gift. It's a talent from God that He gave me.
So are you saying what you are doing in Liberia is the same thing you are doing here in the United States?
It's the same thing I do here for living in the United States.
Am I welcome to take a visit on your farm?
No, not farm. I don't have a farm here. To get farm, they're not easy. I work for people.
Okay, you work for
a company called Specially Horticulture. So people call me and say, Andrew, I want you to do my gardening. I want you to spray my plants. I want you to treat my plants. I want you to, that's how I make my money. I go out and do work for people. Then I have my own garden. My garden, you can see it. I have my garden where I do all my experiment and everything. I used to come live. Librarian used to watch me. I would come live. I used to be demonstrating with the kitty, the pepper, I used to be demonstrating. Librarian used to be watching me.
Wow, yeah. This is quite interesting. And you say you haven't gone to Liberia. Do you intend to go to Liberia to go see what you are investing?
I'm traveling to Liberia this year. I'll be in Liberia for the first time this year for my workers to see me. I mean, they'll be very excited to see me for the first time.
Wow. So with this here, besides your own initial investment into this is quite huge.
Mm-hmm.
Where else are you getting support? you heard me giving the narrative, the 1979 riot. We can't talk about riots without injecting the political aspect into it. We know what happened in 1979 when that peaceful march heading to the executive mansion turned ugly, and we know what happened. And since then, it's still a challenge for national government. So, have you had the opportunity to speak with people inside Liberia? Are they aware of what you are doing and that you are a Liberian? Do you endeavor to see food productivity, especially our staple food and other crops? Have you talked to anybody inside Liberia with respect to your work?
Thank you very much. I started doing early administration 2014. Doing Ebola. I was the guy who was going from house to house. My team was going from house to house, giving people vegetable, doing Ebola. I have photos to show you. Doing Ebola, my team was going from house to house, giving people free vegetable. The thing here is that Liberia, our government back home, they don't believe in agriculture. They don't believe that they need to spend even a dime for agriculture. And that's what the problem is. Our government don't believe in that. They don't believe that agriculture needs support. Our lawmakers, they don't believe that they need to support farmers. They can buy an 80,000 vehicle or 45,000 vehicle for themselves, but they will never buy those good tractors that will clear the land to grow food for the country. They can give themselves $30,000 cash or agriculture break, but they will never buy the kind of equipment that is needed to grow food for the country. They don't care about agriculture in the country. Not just this government or ailing government. That's how it been. So, as a person who already know that our leaders don't care about that, I have to make the sacrifice my family life to get it going. Even as I speak, it took me almost 7 years spending my family money to get to where we are. And then later on, because I know that the government don't have interest in agriculture, therefore, I decided to come to Liberians. In 2019, I came to Liberia and said, I want you guys to join me to become partner for us to raise money to grow food. That's how few Liberians came on board and they started contributing $200 every month. Few Liberians that I was able to get some help. Even as I speak, I have never received 1 cent from any NGO in Liberia. As I speak, I've never received 1 cent from for any government in Liberia. As I speak, I've never received 1 cent from any bank in Liberia. It was just recently that the Liberian government gave me the facility in Maryland County, which of course is a very good thing. I appreciate them. But there's a lot of work need to be done there before we can use the facility. That's it. Also, we are going through they get a program called the Star P program, where they give you the grant, and the agriculture minister is working on a grant that she can give us to help us operate the facility in Maryland. And I appreciate her for that. She's doing a very good work, but it is not an easy job she's doing. She needs a lot of people around her to do the job, but she don't have the kind of people, the kind of workforce, to support her to get the job done. That's the problem. That's what I was there. You see, so, but she's trying to help.
Yeah. So, in the interest of fairness, now I'm not taking you off your word, but have you reached out to national government? Did a project? Have you discussed with anybody within the system, even the NGO? Look,
done it over and over. It's just that, as I told you, we don't prioritize our need in Liberia. We only prioritize our wants. $45,000 vehicle, that's what is good for the country, for each lawmaker. $30,000 each lawmaker, that's what is good for the country. Agriculture break for each lawmaker, that's what is good for the country. The people, sometimes when I say any kind of things, I get so frustrated that a bunch of people with Jesus. Wow. How can
let's take a break. Let's take a little break and we'll be right back. Yeah. This is getting serious.
Welcome to Fiber King off of Woodland. Everyone that's looking for nice African for wedding, whatever fiber you need, you can just come over here. You have all this nice stuff. If you need ashebi, you guys can come over here for baby shower, for wedding. You guys are welcome. She have really nice stuff. You can see all over there, all those men over here. You don't have to go to the theater and then Nicole will be telling you all kind of stories. You can just come here. They're already made. And for ladies, you can just look for whatever fiber you're looking for and match it for the men. And, your husband already have a shirt made. You can get stuff for your kids. You can get stuff for the whole family. We have African slippers and ashobi hair ties all over. We have different kinds of lists. And
Okay, guys. It's getting a little bit emotional here, and this is how it goes. Let me bring in Mr. Armstrong JARGBAH. Let's get a conversation going here. I guess you get a glass of water here, and I know what is really running through your head when you try to get to your finishing point and things pulling you down, and there's no support. Sometimes you want to say the whole kingdom is coming upon you. But carry on. I know you were explaining.
So as I was saying, my brother, I still can't comprehend, as I sit and talk to you today, that how can people who went to school, people who are educated, don't know what is important for a country? How can people who went to school and educated will buy $45,000 vehicle for lawmakers, but cannot think about buying tractors to grow food for a country? How can people who are educated and went to school don't have the brain power to think like normal humans, that they can give themselves 30,000 United States dollars, something that can buy a good tractor to grow food for a country, to create job for the people? Are they normal? Are they real humans? Sometimes I'm confused, because humans don't think like that. No human will take money that belongs to a country and buy $45,000 vehicle for lawmakers, $30,000 for this for agriculture brain, and the brain it's not well developed to know that you need tractors to grow food for country, to create job for your people. With the kind of climate condition we have in Liberia, with the kind of land we have, and the very young youth population that can do the job, skillful people, and we are backward in Africa while other nations are moving ahead, only because we have people who can think. They are leaders, but they don't have brains. The brain mess up. How can Liberia, such an industrial center, be left just like that? Children are in the street, sleeping at the graveyard. Children are all in the street, Kozoko. My brother, just little money, even $1 million, just $1 million can turn the whole thing around. Even $1 million.
If that were talking about that here, the $1 million you are talking about, who say the government and other agency or people in this field listening right now, if that $1 million is invested into what you are doing, you're going to turn it around?
I challenge anybody. $1 million is enough money to turn the whole thing around within 7 years period. I challenge any agriculturist from China, from Japan, from the United States, from any part of the world to come be here and dispute what I'm saying. Agriculture, look, when you invest little money, my brother, if you buy the materials to build roads, you have to borrow more money to maintain the roads. But when you put the seed in the ground, the seed multiply, and you have more seed to plant the next time, and you have more seed to plant the next year. It just keep going. It keep multiplying. And that's why you see all the great nations, they focus on agriculture, because it's the strength of every nation. If you want to create jobs for your people, you invest in agriculture. If we invest in agriculture today, we can create jobs for at least up to 2 to 3 million Liberians. As I'm saying, if we invest in agriculture for the next 7 to 10 years, we can create jobs for up to 3 million Liberians.
And I mean, that's quite true, Armstrong, because with the falling of Soviet Union today, Soviet Union no longer Soviet Union because she could not, with all of the military might, she could not sustain, she could not feed herself.
Okay, let me explain this to you. If you have $1 million, you take maybe 150,000, you buy a very good rice mill. You take 100,000 and build a warehouse. You take another 100,000 and buy or let's say yellow machine to clear the land. You take some money put aside to keep for the workers. You get all your tractor, your combine, all the little things, you get them set. And you start with that. Within 7 years period, you can make more than $100 million. From that 1 million. Because the thing here is the market is there. A nation like Liberia is spending around 150 to 200 million on rice annually. Now you are not counting the other stuff that like the chicken and all the other things they are buying. When you add up everything, you are pushing to $500 million. Leaving the economy, going to foreign land, because we are not investing in agriculture to produce those things right in Liberia, where we can create jobs for our youth. Today, as I speak to you, when the youth leave the university, they say that intellectual centers or they say that political party headquarters to dance in cycles and sing in cycles for politicians, or a political intellectual center to talk nonsense. The rest who didn't go to school stay at the graveyard or they are in the street hazoko. And the leaders of the nation, they bring them to not well developed, to know that the money that people entrusted to them is enough to transform the life of the people. And you just waste millions upon millions. And just $1 million can transform the whole nation. If you put it in the right hand, in the hand of the right people that will use it wisely and start to use that little money. And before you know it, start to spread. Within 7 to 10 years time, you got a whole industry. The brain, that's why I always tell people, the mind, the understanding, the thinking is what makes you a human. You become what you think. You become what you think. And that's the problem. We have people who are leaders, but we don't have thinkers.
This is quite interesting. Do you think here, let me play in your mind with what is responsible? Why are they not doing this? Oh my goodness. Just bear with us here. Hopefully, I hope people are not calling him too as well. Okay, good. All right. What is Armstrong? What is responsible? Why the issue of this rice here? We've been talking this thing over and over. Before we were born, we saw what happens, and if you even go in depth, even up to this point in time here, it's still an issue. You have 5 institutions or individuals or whatever they are have this sort of authority to be the one to get rights in the country. We saw Samuel Dawkins, Green Revolutions, and all of that. Yet and still, we are not making progress. Yet and still, we are unable to feed ourselves. Is it time for us to have a national conference? For those of you in that area, or even we have the Ministry of Agriculture. We have branches and institutions and other agencies that are responsible. International organizations are all in the country. They said that somebody is not having these conversations about this, or somebody just put a black cloth on their face, like, oh, and that's not important. We need not to talk about that. They will understand. If it comes from China or Taiwan or mainland, whatever it is, they will get it. If it can't go 2 to 3, 1 week, we make noise and we all will go back in our bed. If you let me just communicate with national government that has the authority here.
Let me just be honest with you. I'm going to tell you the truth today. We have the ability to grow our own food. We have the manpower to do it. God gave us everything. We are not growing our own food because our leaders have decided they don't want to do it. That's the only reason.
They don't want to do it?
They just refuse to do it. They know that it's something they should do. They know that it is the right thing, but they have decided that they will not do it. They decided.
Why would they
That's just
want to do that?
wickedness. That wickedness. It's wickedness. The reason Liberia is not growing food because our leaders are wicked. That's the only answer, the right answer. They have all the money to do it. They are just wicked people. That's the only reason. That wickedness is the cause. The only reason Liberia is not growing our food is because of wickedness. That's the right answer. I just gave you the correct.
Oh goodness! Well, I think somebody kept up maybe interrupting his line here. Okay.
Yeah, people are calling me.
Why are they calling? They know you. They know what?
They know I'm lying.
Some of the wicked. That's some of the wicked people. The wickedness is not just with leader, with individuals. Oh, we get wicked one.
Liberia is not growing our own food because the leaders are wicked. That's the answer.
Are you getting sort of a little frustrated to say, you know what, I gotta wash my hand out of this? Are you getting to that point, or is there consistency?
I'm strong. I will die doing this. I will never give up because I know that we'll grow our own food. I will never give up.
What do you see the end point for you in what you are doing? If there's no support coming in, nobody is having that farsightedness, those that have the resources to say, one of our own, he's doing it, he's in it already. So it becomes less investment, less, they're not going to get any other person to say they're going to train. If anything, that will be like an advanced, whatever it is that you have not, learned, but you are already in it, you initiated, you started, people working, it's expanding cross country, it's bearing out, the fruits is there. Where do you want to see this thing? How you want to see it ending? What's your targeted goal for this?
Thank you. Let me tell you this. With the help of government, with the help of international NGO, with the help of local bank, we can grow our own food in 3 years. Without the help of government, without the help of NGO, without the help of local banks in Liberia, I will grow food for Liberia within the next 7 to 10 years. Nothing can stop it. The only difference is that if the government, international NGOs come and help us, we'll do it in 3 years. If they don't help, we'll do it in 7 or 10 years. But it's going to happen. In no way, nothing can stop it.
You want to be a main supplier for the entire country? Is that your ultimate goal?
Not me being the main supplier, empowering other Liberian farmers so that we all can do it together. And that's why Liberians who are getting into farming, they call me, Armstrong, can you help me? I don't charge no fee. I give the knowledge free. I counsel them free. I help them free. Once you are a Liberian and you want to start farming, call me, I will guide you free. If you're a foreigner, I will charge you. If you're a Liberian, it's free. So many Liberians have started their farm in Liberia. If you call your show to next someone else, you call in and they will give you the story. I have helped so many Liberians to start their own farms. And nobody can ever say that Armstrong ever charged me 1 cent. It's everything free. Because my goal, my vision is to see that we grow our own food in Liberia. So I'm going to make the sacrifice so that one day when I'm gone, Liberia will remember there was a man called Armstrong JARGBAH who sacrificed his life for his country so that his people can be liberated from hunger. That's the legacy I want, that's all. Not naked we came into the world, naked we return. Nothing can take out of this world. But the legacy that people will remember, that children will read in books in Liberia, that there was a guy called Armstrong who traveled to the US. He worked hard for his money and used all his money to make sure that people have food to eat. That's all I want.
Let's talk about the challenges. I don't want to relegate pains and some bad feelings here, but to get to where you are, the challenges is already started, and you have triumphed over it by giving away your car, asking your wife to in a miracle here. to look at a website, give your car away. To do what, honey? I want to make fun in Liberia. First thing comes, are you insane? What's going through your head? You carrying it to your brother, you carrying it to your uncle. All of that were ignored. The conviction, the passion. You were very optimistic. You were not pessimistic, and you did that. Besides all of that, what are the other challenges that some days when you go to bed, I wish this sort of magical thing occurred. It's not happened. What are some of the challenges? That's part of that. I know it's still there. People working for you, you got to pay them. And I can't imagine all these years you're doing this and you say you have not gone there. It would be your first time going there.
Yeah. My brother, doing business in Liberia is very difficult because we have to train the people. It took me up to, I think, 3 to 4 years to train my workers to really know the job. Look, my brother, let me tell you the truth. I would sit night without sleep. Whole day and night, no sleep. Sometimes when I drive in my car, I want to sleep. I will park on the wayside and take a nap for a bit in 20, 30 minutes and get back on the road. But I don't sleep because it's just as you're looking at me, that's how I educate them. When they are on the farm, I tell them, this is how you do the irrigation. You do this, you do that. This is how you prepare the bombs. This, right? I will be looking at it while they are working. I'm teaching them how to do it. And usually the time different in Liberia, while we are sleeping, the people are up in Liberia. So therefore, I can't sleep. I can't sleep. I have to be on the phone, and I'm a kind of guy who like to do things right. So sometimes, my friends, my wife, everybody know me. When I put my pen to something, I always want it to be 100% right. So I will be on the back, make sure that everything is done right. There's a group from the European Investment Bank. They are now in Liberia. They came to do feasibility study on how to grow rice in Liberia. So they are visiting all farms. They are going from county to county and visiting all the farmers in Liberia. Those guys went and visited my farms. The white guy, they call him Alexander. He told my farm manager, Martin, let me talk to Armstrong. I want to talk to him. The man said, yeah, I never seen anything like this. All our farm, wherever they go, everything just organized. The worker well trained, everything in order. And when they asked, they said, no, our boss, we never see our boss. The men are in the country. The guys were surprised. How can this man be this organized? You're not even in the country. You see, so that's just something that God gave me. I know how to organize things. I know how to program things. It's just part of my nature. Another challenge is, raising the money to pay the employees to buy materials. It's not easy, my brother. I had to work hard. And thank God I get some faithful Liberians who join me as partner, and then the burden reduced a little bit, but still there is more burden on me. Those are some of the challenges: paying the workers, buying materials for the farm, and also some of the Liberians that join me, they don't understand long-term investment. The most difficult challenge that I have is to deal with Liberians who join, and after 3-4 months, oh, Armstrong, I want my money back. My friend getting married, I want to go buy my clothes. Armstrong, I want my money back. My rent is due. I want to buy my clothes. I want to pay my rent. Armstrong, my left bill due. The money I gave you, can I credit some from you? That's the most difficult challenge that I have.
Are you kidding me?
Yes. People invest. I already told them the 3 years investment, then you start to get return. After making 2-3 payments, one of the friends getting married, they'll call me and say they want the money to buy clothes for the wedding. And we already invested the money. And when you don't get in the money, somebody come on Facebook and be insulting you. That's the most difficult challenge I have.
So it looked like the difficulties, the people that are supposed to really give you the problem in Liberia, they're not there. They want to here. The same people that are causing the problem for some of them, not all, are causing the problem for Liberia. That's the same people.
Yeah, that's it. That's the main problem I have. People invest, you take the money and send it to Liberia for the children, to pay the children, and also to buy material for the farm. And they come by, say they coming to have wedding, they need the money back. I want to pay my rent, I need my money back. When I tell them, look, I already invested the money to buy things for the farm. I don't have the cash down to give it to you, and they get angry. That's the main problem I have.
This is look, I've been doing this here for a little while now, talking to people, but this 1 year, it kind of like it's spinning my head, honestly, too. The idea, the concept we also built, we don't trust people back home. We give them, they will do X, Y, Z. You took the risk. You seem to cut through that gap.
Yeah.
The chain is broken.
Right.
Should we still argue that point? Oh, we can't trust the people back home. Oh, we can't do this. Equally, proportionally, people here, we are not trusted. Yeah, that's what we are saying. People agree there's a terms and conditions. Invest at this point in time, you will begin to get your investment. And then when things go, when it going gets tough and the tough gets going,
They call
one
you.
morning, and then they call you, say, my man, who put it there? I want it back.
Yeah, that's the problem I have. That's the major problem I have.
What led to this trust with people that you have not seen? You just got connected on the social media to do what you are doing.
My brother,
how that trust was built?
Let me tell you something. Now, when I came to school, I was living on campus. While studying at my dorm room, I was studying. I put my TV on, watching the news. I saw some of the news, and our people were all in the street in Liberia, hungry. It was so sad. So right in I said, God, why is it my people are suffering? Why? When will the suffering stop in my country? My brother, there's something that came to my spirit, and I'll always say this to people. The strength of every nation is within its soil. So I started to think, but what God is trying to tell me, that the strength of every nation is in its soil. So I started to think about it. And then boom, the revelation came to me that if you want to empower the people, you got to use the resources I give you to benefit the people. You got to get back to the soil, grow food to create job for the people. Grow food that the people have better food to eat. And that's how the vision started. And that's what motivated me. Now I know what I need to do to liberate my people from hunger. That's how the whole thing started. The strength of every nation is in the soil.
Yeah, go ahead.
The strength of every nation is in its soil. That's what motivated me. That war came to my spirit.
Are you still in the business of getting potential people who are willing to invest into what you are doing?
Thank you very much, my brother. We are open to all Liberians. The purpose of this corporation is to empower Liberians, is to unite Liberians from all 15 counties so that we can be able to have our own businesses in Liberia, not just farming. Not just farming. We want Hello? Yeah. They know me alive, but they keep calling. The purpose of this corporation, the vision, is to liberate Liberians from poverty. And that we Liberians can establish our own businesses to have a share of our economy. That's the purpose of this corporation. So it is not just about growing food. By the grace of God, we will start building our first subdivision on Robert Highway, 100 homes. Our first subdivision. Our vision is to build subdivision in all 15 counties. As we grow our food, we take some of our money and start to build homes for our people so Liberians can graduate from old rotten zinc homes and live in clean and beautiful environment. So by the grace of God, we're going to start our first subdivision of 100 homes this year, within the next 2 months, on Robert Highway. And that's not all. We also want to build our own gas stations. The money we make from our farm, the money we make from the homes we build our own, take some of the money to build our own gas station. And we want to build our own bank so that we Liberians from all 15 counties united, working together as brothers and sisters. No party affiliation, nothing called tribalism, no Congo fraternity. We are all Liberians. We must unite and establish our own business to leave something for our children and our grandchildren. We cannot set in our own country. Lebanese foreigners, they are in charge of the food. They are in charge of the gas that we use. They're in charge of construction. They are in charge of the foreigners, in charge of the banking sector. They are in charge of almost everything in the country. Therefore, the purpose of the corporation is to bring Liberians together so that we can start our own businesses to compete with them, so that we can have a share of our economy, so that our money can stay in our country can develop, our children can have jobs, and a better future can be secured for the next generation of Liberians. That's the purpose of the corporation. So we started with farming. Now we are branching into housing. And then for housing, we'll branch into building our own gas stations. Then we'll branch into transport, where we can have our own vehicles, that people can rent our vehicles, especially those who coming from the airport can then be able to rent our vehicles. Then we go into the banking sector, bring together Liberians who have knowledge and build our own bank so that we Liberians can have our own businesses. We can grow the food. While the foreigners are importing the food, we Liberians will be growing the food. We'll compete with them. While the foreigners own their own gas station, we will build our own gas station. While foreigners have their own banks, we will build our own banks. While foreigners have their own transportation company, we will have our own transportation company. We got to secure a better future for the next generation of Liberians. If we don't do that within the next 5 to 10 years, foreigners will take over our country, they will own everything, and our children will be slaves in their own country. And I, Armstrong, will not sit and watch our people suffer. We got to do something. We got to liberate our people. We must be able to create our own businesses, establish our own businesses, so that we Liberians can have a part of our economy.
Now, I did hear you saying you have a farm in Mount Gibby, right?
We started in Mount Gibby, but we left from there. Well, it was just pilot project to train the workers.
So where are you actively involved in this farming? What type of crops productions you are involved in besides rice?
Okay, we are in Nima County, Maryland County, and how they call the other place, Bassa. Those are 3 areas for now. We're in Bonn. We left from Bonn. We did the pilot project. What we're doing, we're testing the crops in those counties. Which kind of crop can grow well in this county? So we go, we try, we see the crops that can grow well, we move to the other county. We grew some crops in Bonn County. We know the kind of crops that can grow well in Bonn County. So all the data, the boys from the back were sending me all the data, all the information. And that's how we're able to put together our own system called systematic farming, the Liberian model. How we can grow our own food, not looking at the white man book, not looking at the Chinese man book, the European book, looking at Liberian book of how to grow food in Liberia. Systematic farming, the Liberian model. And that's a book I will sell to farmers in Liberia.
So let me ask you, all those places, like the previous places you were working, if any of these people, they ever visited your farm to maybe get a sense of what you are doing? Like the lawmakers or any senior government officials to say, we need to see what this guy is doing. Anything of such has happened?
The first thing that people come from the agriculture ministry to visit first. For 9 years, I've been operating in Liberia. I have not received a team from the agriculture ministry to see what we are doing. 9 years straight. 9 years.
Even though you have reached out to those people?
They will promise me we'll come to see. We'll come this time. So promises. They will not come.
So you decided not to, will you still continue to reach out to them? Or you have just reached a Waterloo?
Where we are now, my brother, we are moving. The difficult days are behind us. It's time to advance. We're not looking at nobody anymore. We are moving. I appreciate the agriculture minister because she's working on the Starpy grant to help us with the project in Maryland County, and I want to appreciate her for that. But we're not going to be running after people. We did all the suffering. Right now, we accept. We are moving. What do we got? Equipment? We don't have equipment. With all the farming we're doing, we didn't use no equipment. No equipment.
So how are they doing it?
I just use my own system called systematic farming, the Liberian model, how to use the local materials to grow food for the people. That's my system. That's the system we're using. If we have equipment, my brother, if we have even one tractor, if we have only one tractor, when you see the kind of food produced in that country, you won't believe it. One tractor. I defy the government to give me only one tractor. See the kind of food we produce, you won't believe it. Only one. Only one tractor. And see the kind of production. You won't believe it.
When you're talking about only one, there are other people listening out there. What type of tractor, or approximately how much would that cost?
Even if I use tractor, there's some used tractor for 30,000, 25,000. Only a used tractor. If I get one used tractor,
2 or 3 lawmakers decide to make sacrifice of their.
If I get only one used tractor, one. When you see the quantity of food those children will produce, you will not believe it. You will not believe it. I will come right back on your show and show you production. You won't believe it. My brother, let me tell you something. Growing food, especially rice, growing rice is very easy because rice is like a grass. It's like a grass.
Explain.
Rice is like a grass. You see how the grass grows in your yard so fast? That's how rice grows. Rice is like a grass. It's very easy to grow. The people used to tell us that rice can grow well in Liberia because of the too much of iron in the soil. I disproved all that within the past 3 years. I grew rice in Liberia every month, rainy season and dry season, non-stop. Every month. From January to December, I have proven to Liberians that rice can grow any month in Liberia. Any month you plant rice in Liberia, it will grow. I have proven to all Liberians. They said that onion can grow well in Liberia. I disproved that by growing onion in Liberia. Even the onion we grow in Liberia is even bigger than the one they grow here. I disproved that onion can grow well in Liberia. All those stuff they say can't grow in Liberia, I have disproved everything. I have grown everything in Liberia using the youth. These are children that don't even have up to master degree. Some of them not even some of them can even speak English well, but they are growing the food. They are growing the food. You see the rice. Look at that kind of rice. How the rice is growing. That rice you see growing. We've been growing rice in Liberia for 3 years without applying no fertilizer. The same spot, the same location for 3 years without applying any fertilizer. 3 years straight without applying fertilizer at the same spot. The people lie to our people that the soil is not good for growing rice. The Liberian soil is not good for this. This is all lie. When the Portuguese came to Liberia, that entire coast from Liberia to Guinea, Africa coast, the people saw how food grow on that soil. And then they said that this place would be called the Green Coast. Not G-R-E-E-N, G-R-A-I-N. This place will be called the Green Coast, not green, G-R-E-N, G-R-A-I-N. Do you know what is green? Do you know what is green? Seeds, rice, corn. Those are the things they call green. When the Portuguese came, they said, this is the rice coast. This is the best place to grow rice in the whole world. And that's how they named Liberia, that area, the Green Coast. This is the Portuguese said, this is the right place in the entire world to grow rice. This is the right place to grow corn in the entire world. Therefore, The Portuguese did not name anywhere in Europe as the Green Coast. They didn't name anywhere in America as the Green Coast. They came to Africa, West Africa, and they saw that particular land and said, this is the right place to grow rice. This is the right place to grow corn. This is the right place to grow greens. Therefore, this place will be called the Green Coast.
Wow, this is quite fascinating. You're kind of like now. Is our cameras allowed to take like a trip inside Liberia? Some of your places, is that something you're willing to do? Is it saying?
I would be very happy. Very happy.
And that's what we do. We don't want to give up yet on our people because what we will do, they will continue to be in our lives. All we can do is to persuade people and make them to see, to make the case. You are doing your part, I am doing my part, and others will be doing their part. Our job here is to provide a narrative, to tell people, hey, this is XYZ person doing so thing, and bring it visually, let them see it, visualize the conversation as well. That's the reason that I put this. Actually, I was telling my poor, I said I'm a fine grandkid, but I'm a fine, Armstrong. Fine.
So you see, my brother, you see, the white man came from Europe. They came to Liberia and said, this is a place to grow rice. This place will be called the Green Coast. This is the right place to grow rice. And then we say we can't grow rice. How was Liberia named the Green Coast? What is green? What is green? G-R-A-I-N. What is green? Rice is not green. Rice is green. Corn is not green. Corn is green. The Portuguese saw the production on the land. Our people were growing rice, corn, pepper, everything. And they said, what? This place is very rich.
So you are involving all of these different types of crops, the corn, the onion, and all of those things. Are you involved in all of those?
We experiment with onion in Liberia, it grew well. We did the corn, it grew well. We did tomato, it grew well. I have videos, I have photos from beginning to end. We did the cabbage, it did well. We tried all the various crops so that nobody can say, oh, that one can grow in Liberia, that one can grow in Liberia. I disprove everything. I have video and photos to show that all these things can grow well in Liberia.
What is interesting here, the whole thing that is the interesting part of this whole thing here, Armstrong, to say that you're not even in Liberia, but you sit here on your computer and kind of walk people through the process, telling them what to do, and they are following all of those steps, and you are getting the result and all of that. That is quite interesting.
It's what our people don't understand. If you take a Liberian man, from Liberia and bring him to America, the man will do what is right. If you take that same man back to Liberia, he will do wrong. If you take a Liberian man from Liberia and bring it to Europe, he will follow the law. He will obey the police. When you take that same Liberian man to Liberia, he will insult the police. The thing is system, enforcing system. I don't have to be in Liberia. All I did was put together a system and make sure that everybody operate within the system. So I don't have to be there for the system to work. I just have to enforce the system. And because I enforce the system, people who don't obey, people who do wrong, I set example on them before everyone. Because of that, even they are in Liberia, but they are functioning as if they are in America. They are in Liberia working for me, but they are functioning as if they are in Europe. Because the system I put in place, that's the difference.
Well, system, you take action. What is a perfect example of actions if they don't follow your system?
If you don't follow the system, you are fired. That's why I don't hire any of my relative. No relative work with me because I don't want people to come beg me. So my brothers, my biological brothers are in Liberia, but they are not working for the company. My uncles, nephew, everybody in Liberia, they are not working for the company. Because when I take decision, I don't want
even though they want to work.
They want to work, but I can't do it because I don't want nobody to beg me when I take action. So they cannot work. I can help them on the side, but they cannot work for the company, because when I take action, I don't want to look back, because I want to make sure that the system holds.
So ultimately, you have come to realize the enforcement, and that's why sometimes people say, no, sister, the law, of course, the system is there. That's the enforcement aspect is it, because people there, and they just cover blanket over it as if it is not there.
Yes.
It is there. It is the
I don't need to
enforcement.
be in Liberia. I don't need to be in
Exactly.
Liberia. I just need to enforce the law, the system. So who violates, you are out. And once you see that the good money you are making, the free food you eating every day, free electricity to charge your phone, free house to live, everything gone from you, the next guy will say, my man,
you're there sober.
the next guy will say, I can't make that kind of mistake. And once they saw that I'm a guy who don't take nonsense, everybody fall in line. I don't have to be in Liberia. They will all do what I tell them to do. I don't have to be there. For 9 years, I've not been with them. They never seen me before. But they do exactly what I tell them, because you know when you mess up, Armstrong, it's not a guy. And now you're going to beg, you can beg all you want. I will not change my mind.
Let's start with your the administrative aspect, because
my wife used to, let me give you the example. My wife used to work with me, but I told her something that she shouldn't do, and she did it, and I fired her before everybody.
You're kidding me?
She cried, come home and talk. She cried. I said, baby, I got to set an example on you. You got to go find a job outside. So she went outside to find a job. So she working out.
There's no boundary. They can't eat your own, baby. You're kidding me?
She's not working with me no more. My wife, when we come home, we are married people. But at the business side, no married business there. I fired her before everybody. And she beg. I said, I can't employ.
I will work Sunday and cook and give you food. Then you reinstate me.
The good thing, but yeah, I know how to cook. I can cook my own food.
Oh my goodness. Wow. You know, it's quite interesting to see what is happening. And I hope people will listen. I will be forced to reach out to people, even though I've tried before. And I know I'm not going to go public. And remember, we talked behind the scene before coming here.
Yeah.
And I say, are you sure? Because this is, I don't know. We got to reach out here, but we're not going to give up. And this is why we try to discuss every issue here. No one should be left behind.
Yeah.
Rice is a political commodity, whether we like it or not. And even if it were not a political commodity, it's part of the whole, it's part of the society, it's part of our integration. So the idea our politicians and people are selective in getting things they want to talk about. And so sometimes it's so frustrating, it's so, you have these people, you don't know their agenda, you don't know where they stand on issue, but they come say, I will do this. Their government not doing this. This one not doing that. Okay, we understand this is not happening, but what is the alternative? What are you putting forward? What is the conversation that you injecting within the public discourse? Nobody do it. They are not doing it. The surrogate is not doing it. All they're giving us, all they're feeding us is the cost. When you ask certain questions, you say, oh, that man, he this person, he that person. They tend to define who you are because you want the right thing to be done.
All political parties in Liberia are the same. All politicians, there's nothing they're going to do for that country. They are all the same. They can't do nothing.
All of them the same?
All of them the same.
Are you part of any political party?
I supported CDC, you know, but when I saw how things were going, I just pulled back a little bit and said, the Liberian politics thing, let me put my hand from that, because I thought it was about ideas. How well we can improve the system, how well we can take our people from poverty to prosperity. That's my thinking. But when I observed that all the political politicians are in the same direction, I was frustrated and just gave up.
Are you giving somebody a second chance?
Were you
giving any political party a second chance?
No, I'm not going to become part of any political party anymore. The people are not serious. You know, I can become part of people that are just not serious. I can become part of any political party.
That's your final conclusion. That's
Yeah,
why you
that's
conclude
how I would just live
this.
the rest of my life would just be a businessman growing food with my people. That's all I would do. But the unseriousness among people, I can't bear it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
because
don't want.
they do on serious things. So we don't
Yeah,
even
yeah,
know.
yeah.
As everybody, I don't know where they get those backpacks from, because that one thing they don't go out of that backpack. You see, everybody gets stuff on their back all day. The dancing, that's a good therapy. I think it keeps them fit, but it's not helping the
Yeah,
comfort in a greater
my brother,
respect in
I gave
terms of
all
what they do.
Liberian politics. Yeah, I gave all Liberian politics. I don't want
So
to be part of anything.
let's spend a few minutes here. Hopefully, let me just pull this line number out here. Maybe one or two persons going to call. But hopefully we're going to have this conversation again, and maybe our cameras will be allowed to roll into some of your products to see what it is. Wow. I mean, you fire your woman? I mean,
Gee, what you outside?
oh my
Business.
goodness.
No, the
Yeah,
business. No play business.
no play in business.
The man who
How
taught me
is
is
how do they have the reporting system to you have an overseer manager, correct?
yeah. I have a whole system set up. I got a country director. I get farm director. I get farm supervisor. Everything just set, and they all work together. Yeah.
Those people that they report to you in time
They,
as
yeah.
required by the
They,
rule
re-
set.
they report to me. The thing is that I'm on your back every day. I talk to them every day. I don't miss a day.
And they follow those steps
They
every
follow.
step of the way.
They follow. When I see things not going right, I tell them how to address it, what to do, and everything just keep going right.
If you were to receive a
Yeah.
phone call today from somebody higher up there, say, hey,
Mm-hmm.
you know what? For so long, we have downplayed this.
Mm-hmm.
We have not listened to you, but I think it's better late than never. We want to tap into your expertise. We want to invest into what you are doing. No matter who the person is, politicians, non-politicians, government, whoever it is.
Mm-hmm.
Will you engage that conversation?
I will agree, and I will tell the person, I will just give you a list of the materials I need. Don't give me the money, give me the material. And I'll come to Liberia and prove to our people that we can grow our own food. Even the government. If the government can just buy the materials, that's all. That's it. I just need materials. Don't give me the cash, give me the material. And I can go to Liberia and prove to you that we can grow our own food. So anybody that want to come in, don't give me no cash. Just I will send you a list. This is what we need: tractor.
They kept calling and interrupting his line here.
Yeah. Anybody that want to come in to help, I will say, okay, here's the list. We need tractor. We need a truck to transport the food. We need a combine to harvest the food. We need trasher to trash the rest. We need warehouse. We need a very good mill to mill the rest. Those are the things we need. Buy these things. You yourself buy it and give it to me. I will come to Liberia and do the job. Don't give me the money.
Wow, this is quite interesting. What's your goal in the next 5 years?
Within the next 5 to 7 years, I think our target is to be able to produce at least 50% of the rice we consume.
50%.
Yeah, cut input to at least 50. We can do more than that, but our target is 50% within the next 6-7 years. That is with our help from government, NGO, or banks. With help from government, NGO, or bank, we can do it in 3 years.
In 3 years.
Yeah, we can grow all the rest we consume in 3 years.
If real help comes in.
If real help comes, we can do it in 3 years. With our help, we can do it in 6 to 7 years.
Have you tried inside Liberia? This might be insane and ridiculous here to say, hey, I'm going to this bank here. These guys, the other guy want to go to the bank, they will tell, oh, I put the collateral in myself because anyway, they get 9 years. They finish 9 years non-stop because they're not going to retire. They're not, nobody going to sack them. I don't care how we accuse them of corruption. They're 9 years, 6 years. It's guaranteed because so it's a kind of collateral to whatever they're going to be getting from the bank. But have you gone through that to see what can be done as well? Hey, I need this X amount of money. Or have you asked anybody, look, I know it's hard to put your life on the line for people, but this is what I want. I want you to stand in my place as collateral because I need this tractor or I need this whatever material here to carry on my productions. Have you tried all means and nobody seems to answer you?
I believe where we are reached now, we will go through the bank to see how we can secure some funds to buy our materials with it. I think we have reached a stage where the bank will be convinced that we can do it. But before
you have
that,
good access. You have good access on the ground.
Yeah, before that, we wanted something to build our portfolio first and then present it to them. Say, this is what we have done in the country. And with the finance you give us, the loan you give us, we can even do more. We can give them the whole.
Let me ask. I know maybe you're with a management team. You say you haven't been there. I tried to do a recollection here because I remember that the government or the president, there was a place I believe it was either Kakata or Bon County, which couple of years where they were giving a subsidy to some sort of farm, and where he went with farmer. So they were allocating for small businesses. Huh?
It was during the National Agriculture Fair in Bon County.
Right. There you go.
They were going to give $60 million towards agriculture, but I don't know what happened to that. Yeah, we didn't receive anything.
Do you know any other people in the agriculture industry? I think there was a guy, no, there were during an exhibition, 10,000 or whatever it was giving. I don't know whether that was the end of the story, but do you know of any other person sharing any information with you on the status of that agricultural fund, whatever fair that they had? Was that just a one-time shot? You know?
The fair, I think the fair is the 12th to the 14th of February every year. So I don't know whether they're going to have a fair this year, but my team is already prepared to be at the fair. We already did all our preparation, everything. But I will find out for them to know whether there will be another fair this year, because it's a national something that happens every year.
So there's a question here from one of our own contributor here. And read it for yourself. Can you see that?
Oh yeah, I'm willing to do that. I mean, I'm willing. The thing is that we just need equipment to grow more food. The market is there. We import almost everything we eat. So if Liberians who have the money will come in and say, Armstrong, look, I want to have share in the corporation. I'm going to get you a tractor, or I'm going to get you. Why would I say no? I'm open to all Liberians.
Okay, John Nwaya is asking, Armstrong, will you inbox me urgently? Okay, now you need Armstrong. You the one need Armstrong. Armstrong, not really. Armstrong is trying to go extra mile. So if I were you, you would inbox Armstrong instead of you who need a help. And when people are sick, they'll go to the hospital. The doctor don't come. The only time they come to you, the emergency truck will come pick you up. So, Mr. John Tuant, I would say maybe you can reach out to Armstrong. You can inbox and you say, Armstrong, will you inbox me? I urgently need your advice. The land is available. So, hey, John, do yourself something to just go extra mile. And I reach out to Armstrong, and I'm quite sure, like he said, he's willing to help any Liberians. He doesn't.
I will inbox him because I want Liberian to grow food. I mean, if he had the land and he got the money to start his farm, I will inbox him to help him start the farm. I mean, we implore some Liberians.
What it takes, not just people hearing Armstrong's story. Okay, I can do it. I think there is a calling. You must have that sort of a passion. You must be prepared for it, and this is why you should know. You should even know your own calling, what you can do. You should know your own liability.
Yeah.
So, and I think that's what the problem is. I
The
can,
ma-
Alfonso can just be Alfonso. Armstrong would just be Armstrong. Any other thing you try to replicate, it would not be correct. They see it, they know that photocopy right there. So, people got to
Oh,
also be put out that thinking cap here. Am I
yeah.
prepared, or am I doing it because somebody is doing it? Say, oh, the man say you must be resilient, you will do it. I don't see it that way. I'm a practical guy, so you
Let me
got
let
to.
me let me tell you this, my brother Alfonso. I was born to grow plants. That's what I was born to do on earth. My job on earth is to grow plants. And I know that. I know that I was born to grow plants. And it whether I make money, I don't make money, I will keep doing it till I die because that's what I was born to do. So if you want to put yourself into age, you know what you are doing because you get frustrated quick. There are so many things that happen that could discourage me from farming in Liberia, but because I know that's what I was born to do, that's why keep me stay going.
Let me sound a little political here because this thing we are talking about, you get a political attachment here. If you were to face the president, if you face Joseph Boyka, Alex comment, and asked to review their platform or whatever it represents, I know your attention will be drawn to what plan do they have within the agricultural sector or to make Liberia self-sufficient in food productions. Let's pretend any of these three, out of the three, one, two, or someone, one of them is listening to you. How will you communicate directly with those people? They want to be leader.
They all have plan. When you look at the CDC plan, agriculture is number one. You look at Joseph Walker plan, agriculture is number one. You look at Cummins plan, agriculture is number one. My thing is, I don't believe in that too much. I have the plan. I want to see what you are doing before you get to the plan. Before you become president, what are you doing? You don't just become president and start to perform miracle and start to do something that you don't you are not me used to. You just wake up and then by magic you just start to do it. If you are going to do something, my brother, people are going to see you do it small, a little bit for now. Now, if I see Cummins going out to farmers and having maybe meetings with farmers, and Cummins as a rich man buy one tractor for at least say, you know what, I don't want to spend too much, but I'm going to look at the best farmer, best farmer, and give the person one tractor. If I see Cummins doing something like that, if I see Boaka can come out and say, look, the best red farmer in the country, we select 2 or 3 of the best red farmer, I will give them one tractor each. If I see them doing something like that, I will say, yeah, if these guys can do this little thing while they are not in power, I believe they can do more when they are in power. But for now, I can tell you, they are not serious. I can't believe any of them.
Wow. Okay. All right. Sampanik, stay here. What's your information of contact? Hopefully he comes back before we wind down. Then if he can share that as well, we'll continue to have this conversation here because this is very serious. And this is why we need to be having these conversations and not allowing these people to just go swears while way like that because we don't know their agenda. We don't even know what they represent. They're just only telling us, I can do this, I can do that. Okay, how can you get it done? How? The when, they are not answering those questions. They are just giving you a little selected pieces that they think they can properly articulate and everybody should fall in with it. That we don't do here on this network here. These people they all need to be held accountable. And we know how long have we not talked about how long this green revolution here has not been discussed. We saw when the Samuel Doe came with the green revolution. Everybody, and to some extent, it was very forceful. I remember, though he used to compel ministers, they were making fun. But this time, the minister nowadays, everybody, not all of them, I want to be very fair here, not all of them, some of them are making, and there is a former senator who is engaged because I do have, I try to reach out to him, and I will call his name, former Senator Oscar Cooper, just how he get allows him more. He told he get a very huge farm. The picture he sent me, But he promised at some point in time he's going to come here for us to have a conversation, and how he gets some folks in school and helping his retirement more or less. He's in the farming industry here. Okay, Armstrong, just bear with us. Sometimes they say, okay, there's people here. It's going to be quite interesting. Somebody asking yet, what is your information contact, Armstrong? Is yet, can you fix your camera there? Let's see whether we able to get you properly well.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got out of stuff. Okay, let me just...
well, it's so who knows? Some are asking this question because we want to. Okay, yeah, this what I see here. Says our own man say you are a world-gened instruments. Blessing to you, brother. You know, yeah, that's it. People should not wait because they say, yeah. Do you want to share your contacts as well with people? Is there a way for people to get to you?
It's 225.
Let me just copy if you want. 225
938.
938. Okay, I know I have it, but I want to make sure.
225 938 5696.
5696. Is that something you want me to pull up here to those who want to reach out to you?
Yeah, you can do that.
All right. I want to make sure that you know, we have all of this understanding before we can get that done. So Armstrong, don't just ask. Okay, let me just put it up here. You can contact. You can reach him here. So all right. So my man Sissy asking. I think Sissy and myself. Okay, thank you so much. Somebody already put it. You see, we get a very good. Is that 2255? That's it, right?
Yeah, 225 938 5696. That's it.
Process. You see, we get valuable people here. Thank you so much. Is that Mimi? JARGBAH. Thank you so much. I say people are following. Who followed?
Yeah, she wanted the shareholder in the corporation. She's a Liberian.
You kidding me?
Yeah, one of my faithful member there.
She ain't can't ask for anything because you need to go and buy some kind of great dress to go for. Faithful member. I see why she put it in there. Thank you so much, Mimi. I just kidding. And that's why I think we need to build. We need to have restore confidence in our people here. And I think your story is extraordinary in the sense that you don't care what's going to be the outcome, what you are doing. You just play your part. You don't know those people. You just talk to them and just say, hey, you do this here. And so far, so good, you're playing out. And I think that's where it comes to putting system, having a system in place. If you have a system in place and you stick by your principle and nothing compromises it, you not factor in sympathy with administrative work, then if you put in sympathy with administration, and then that's where the problem comes from. You do it 1, 2 times, and you can't do it. Say, well, people got to learn a hard way. You fire them, that's it. They go, and then they go find different jobs.
Sometimes when I fire them, I feel so bad and I'm sad, but I got to do it. I got to do it for the others.
But the more interesting thing, I hope nobody hearing me. For you to say you fire your, you fire the madam. They say no, they were there. So, but you know, that's it. That country there, that country called Liberia, and not just only in the country we here. Sometimes it's so difficult. You go even manage people program when they ask you to be a conductor. Everybody going to have their list here. Other people will come, they think they must have some sort of immunity, and there is just no system. You try to do it, people will not just some kind of way, you know, people there, overnight scientists, they try to find some kind of way to honor system.
It's not with me. Once I have the list, you can cross it. Your tear can be coming down. I will follow the list.
Anything after you buy teardrop and go put it there. Okay, this is what Saponic. Hopefully, I'm calling it. So our politicians are getting financial support from the Lebanese, who in return get monopoly over rice importation. Yeah, so I don't know why Why they are not investing into our own? If you even go to Ghana, you go to Ivory Coast, and this is where we are now holding our national leaders accountable. And people, their own people are not holding them accountable. They are back in the end. We just have to insert this part because at the end of the day, these people get there and they don't do it. Then we come back here, all knowing what I know, I thought we should have asked all of these questions, and we didn't do that.
But
I
the
think we're going to
thing,
have.
say, look, I got plan for agriculture. I'm going to make sure that we grow food in the country. But the person who tells you the thing is a political leader, but he can't see nothing he's doing. And you believe that? For me, I'm sure I don't believe that kind of thing. I don't believe commies. I don't believe Boaka. I don't believe President Ware. I don't believe none of them. Because if you
When
want
you
me to
believe
be,
in we are before then.
yes, before. Because
how you got to that point, and this is where the problem is. Did you ask all of the questions needed to be asked, answering before you?
Oh
got
yes,
to
the thing here is that I've been out of Liberia for long. I don't know all these people. Them I grew up here in the South, in Louisiana. I went to an all-white college. All my friends are white boys. I don't get even one black friend. The man who taught me business is a Jewish man. He and his wife, they took me, and placed with me in the Jewish system, So that's just how I think. So when I saw all those things, I started to read how the man went back to college to get his master's degree, and he used to visit our people when they're at the refugee camp and all that kind of stuff. So I said, yeah, at least this guy, he looked better because he cared about the people. And that's how I make my decision based on the information I provided to me. But when I saw that things were not going right, I just pulled back and said, you know what? This politics thing, I don't think I need to be involved in it because I see that all our politicians are the same. They only talk, but when it comes to doing what is necessary for the people, they don't do it. So I was frustrated and say, you know what? Let me just focus on growing food for the people so that people can have something to eat and the youth can have jobs. So that's my focus. When it comes to all the political parties, I don't see any of them that serious. So I don't want to be part of that.
So, like my colleague was talking about, share. I'm a guy who also like to take risk because nothing is guaranteed in life. All of the things that we do, we don't know where it
Not
is, but
Gary.
you have to confide in. So let's talk a little bit here
Right.
before we go. So before somebody call you, I don't like for people to waste my time because sometimes it gives people a heads up, let them think over it, sleep over it before place a call. You have a lot to do. You don't want just any kind of
Right.
say babati call can because somebody want to call. No, but the call must have a substance and they must get a heads up. And I'm going to use myself as a case study. Afonso wants to be a shareholder in Armstrong by business. What is the start of any documentation, anything that I need to know, or you want to take on the general level, that is okay. What does one needs to know to get started?
All right, we get the partnership agreement form that we send to you, and then you're gonna read it, you understand it, and if you know that's something you want to be part of, then you call me and say, Armstrong, I read the form. I see that there's something good, there's something I want to be part of, and then we sign it and notarize it. You have your copy, we have our copy on file, and then we tell you that you have to start your deal, which is $200 per month for 1 year, 6 months. And then you're a lifetime partner. That's how simple we make it because we know that our people don't have money. And so therefore we just try to do it the way we can so that at least we can raise some money to
that's the minimum.
That's the maximum.
That's a maximum.
Yeah. But there are people who will come and say, you know what, I want to buy share in the corporation. I see that you need tractors, I see you need all the equipment, you need a big warehouse, you need a very good modern rice mill to mill the rice to have the same kind of parboiled rice that the people are importing. There are people with money who can come in. They're going to have bigger share than others because they bring in the money. No.
And this is very much important because some of us will kick the can down the road before. We may or something because and we Liberian as a whole, including myself, generally, we do not believe in taking risk. I tell you, my former co-worker, when this whole Facebook thing started, it started some kind of funny way. People who really follow the story. It's the same thing, just what you are talking about. People are buying shit. That people will do them. Oh, but The guy right now, I don't want to if I talk say I have one cry for myself. Why I didn't why I didn't join with him? Why I didn't follow his advice? And that was a white guy, Jewish guy too, as well.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, little or nothing this guy invested into that Facebook. When Facebook became explosive, his
Right.
return. Guess what?
Yeah.
He's smoking cigar now. Maybe I never smoked before. Who knows? Maybe if I join him, then I'm a message then everybody then maybe Lpr now you're going to be on the board. You know, we do not believe in taking. We are impatient. We are intolerant. We do not believe in taking risks.
Nothing. Our people, they are not patient. They don't take risks. And we started the thing. I started with 3 acres.
We want quick thing. It will happen instantly, and how we can crush.
And I started with 3 acre of land. From 3 acre, we went to 5 acre. From 5 acre, we went to 300 acres.
This man. Yeah. They teach all them. They man, you know, teacher them follow plenty of questions. Or they man asking, is he selling membership or share? What is the benefit of a membership? So, how long?
No, when I say member, I mean the shareholders and partners, and we all do it together. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we call
Ruth. We want quick fix. The quick fix, and it can crush people. So let me ask this other question here.
Yes, I was saying. Let me complete what I was saying.
Okay.
We started with our people don't have patience. They want everything to happen overnight, quick. We started with 3 acres in Mangibi. We went to Bon County, 5 acres. We went to Nima, 300 acres. We went to Basel, 1,300 acres. We went to Maryland, 20,000 acres. 20,000 acres.
That's a good acceleration.
So you see, I keep telling Liberians that what we are doing here is a multi-billion-dollar corporation we are about to build. It would take maybe 7 to 10 years, but it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation where we'll be raising chicken, goats, cows, and crawfish, shrimp, crabs, all the things in Liberia. We'll have cold storage, we'll have factories, we'll be packaging goods from Liberia, shipping it to other nations. But our people don't see these things. You see, but now some of their eyes are opening. They say, wait a minute, this guy is serious. Look, that the corporation is picking up now. I can tell you, my brother, the little money they invested today, that's what some of them tomorrow they will live on. That's what their children will live on, their grandchildren will live on. The little money is not going to make some of them successful for tomorrow. But our people don't see these things. When I'm telling them, this thing will take some time, but this thing will take care of you tomorrow. It will take care of your children and grandchildren. Because we are building a corporation that will supply Africa, Europe, America. Our produce will be growing. The crops they eat will grow in Liberia and ship it to them. Put on a plane and ship it to them. On the ship and ship it to them. We're going to turn it around. Instead of food coming from them, we will be sending them food.
Yeah. I'm telling you, I'm not saying they say, I am using myself. The guy, his last name is Oakley. He's a white guy. When the whole thing started with his Facebook, told me, Afonso, he was very open.
Yeah.
But what I've come to realize as an experience, sometimes it's not too good to do consultation with too much of people.
Fine.
Though people were not correct lawyer, self-imposed lawyer, you know, everybody in Liberia, we all are lawyer. By the time you do consultation, there are people who are dreams killer already. I mean, told me, I kept it, I said, okay. As soon as I went and told one or two, my man, you just come, so we not know money better. You want to start getting money quickly. All right. Yeah. So, and today, I am telling you, I mean, the guy, after everything, because they gave him the option, whether you want to be or that, but he knew what he put there was little and what he got in return. He decided to get his own establishment. And just what the little he put inside, the investment that came back to him was huge. He ended up being a boss on his own.
That's it.
So he took a risk. I think that was a big lesson learned. And it is something I wanted to ask. Now, those places you go in, do you buy those land or they give it? Say I get or Sissy, my man Sissy, man from Lofa, they get BB fund and say Sissy get almost 1,000 acres. And how can that? Oh my goodness!
Yeah,
All
I'm
right.
here.
Okay, so somebody get like a certain portion of a land. I say, okay, but Armstrong, this is what I have here. How can you get into a venture with that person? Not necessarily cash, but they already have the land too as well to invest in that land. Do you have any sort of terms and agreement with that too as well, or how do you go about do? How you got those? How you get these land from these various countries?
Let me explain this to you, my brother. You see, the thing they call wisdom, it comes from God. When God gave you wisdom, things become easy for you. I'm not a greedy man, and that's what helping me. I go to the village, I get all the elders. I gather all the elders, the chiefs, the people of the village. I say, "You give me your land." We make the document. They get the share, the corporation get the share. The people are happy, we are happy. That's how it works. That's how you see me getting all the land. We hire your children will have job. You have certain percentage from everything we grow. And we, the corporation, will have our own percentage. Everybody happy. I go to Maryland County, met the elders, the chiefs, the people of the people that own the land. This is what I want to do. You give us the land, you get your share, we get our share, your children have job. The people are happy. That's how we're getting the land everywhere in the country.
Straight D. It's all about trust.
Trust. You can't be greedy. You can't be greedy. Let the people eat.
You won't dupe somebody overnight and think you Mr. Smart.
It will not work for you. If you are honest, things become easy for you.
Armstrong, we are available at all times. We will keep this conversation. But in fact, it was very instant and you were very spontaneous. That is said, we made agreement, you live up. In fact, that's where the confidence building starts from.
Yeah.
You say something, you live by it, you do
live
it.
by it.
That's how it works. And I really one share payment 250 to 18 months is about 4,005. Can I just let's see here. Saponius. You got a party photo. How concerned? Where you come from? Your name, man. Okay. You say one share payments of 250. Did you say 200 or $250?
Even why you put that even more? That 200. It's not even 250. It's 200.
Okay, you say 200. Okay, so let's just judge here. I think he's trying to get an understanding here. 250 for 18 months is 4,500. Can I just buy 2 shares for my kids at once? I mean 9,000 straight down. Dating, what you writing here? I hope you're ready. You're ready for it. Your investment is better than the bank. That's right. Okay, and we're getting good info here. Roof Salih, the share is 200, not 250. So okay, all right, Roof. Maybe he want to put extra $50.
Roof Shelley is one of my faithful partner too. She's part of the corporate.
No man here. I see no man. Hey man, we with some kind of cara people. No man.
The woman that trusts me more than the man.
You making your shit now. No, my man says here myself will do something. We'll do something. This is serious. It better late than never. We will do something.
Yeah.
We will do something.
My brother, let me tell you something, Alfonso. Our people don't know the money in our country is too much. That's why the foreigner go there. The money is too much in the country. They put taking everything out. We got to be smart too. How can we sit in America? We get 200 million leaving our country just for rice. Something that we can grow as Liberia, we can just come together and grow the rest and take that 200 million for ourselves. Just think about that. 200 million. That's small money every year. Every year, 200 million leaving our country for only rest. And we Liberians working 2-3 jobs in America. 2-3 jobs when the money is sitting right in our backyard. We get the land, we can just grow and grow the rest and take that 200 million and say, you know what, let's grow more to ship to Sierra Leone, Guinea, all the other places, and carry up to 1 billion. We could be making $1 billion from rest every year. Right there. How people can see it. And that's the sun that been sinking. The money in our country. Because we got the land. We got good climate condition. We have rivers, lakes. We got water everywhere. 6 months of rain, 6 months of sunshine. Agriculture is our strength. We can build our country just by growing on the food. And I try to encourage Liberians to give them the message. My people, the money is in our backyard. We just need to come together and put the little resources we have, put it together, get the equipment we need, and make the money. But hey, I pray to God that you open the mind of my people, that will get to understand what I'm saying. You can't have money, you are rich and you are poor. You got all the money, but you are poor. You got to work 2-3 jobs in America when you can just go to Liberia, get 100 acres of land, pour rice on it, and become a millionaire. Think about that.
All right. I promise we're going to be having this conversation. LPRO intends not to leave no one behind. And part of that is to engage all sectors. And I mean all sectors of our daily lives. And it happens, the food they call rice. It's our staple food.
Right.
There's nothing else we know. You swallow GBA, you ask, Alfonso, you whole day, man, I get GB. Why? Because rice did not go in my belly. And
your land is called the green, your land is called the Green Coast. And
the land is called the Green Coast for the sea, and we are not making use of it. And people are coming. So I see a strategy here. So what these people do, the Lebanese and different people, they are our good people. They are being there. We're not going to put them down. We're not going to demean them, but they are being very strategic. So what they do, they're not giving us, they are not opening our eyes to empower us to grow this thing and say, okay, you know what, these people, they will not do it. So the more money we make is for us to bring it to them because they are unable, no means, they don't have the material. They're not willing to work. So what we'll do, we'll bring it. And we'll wait after 1 month, 2 months, we'll make it more in demand, and we'll create artificial shortage and all of that. And then everybody will scatter header, they cause noise, then we'll bring it again, then we'll make more money.
We'll make money. That's the strategy. The thing here is that they have the money to grow the rice in Liberia. They can do it. But if they grow the rice in Liberia, they'll be creating jobs for Liberian youth. They will not be creating jobs for people in India. So they'll be taking jobs from those in India and bringing the job, transferring the job to Liberia, where Liberian youth are in the street now, will not be in the street anymore. They will be responsible people.
Yeah, those 10,000 of people that will be jumping all over the places, going to welcome people and all of that.
These guys, they know that if they have the money, they have everything to grow the food in Liberia, but they don't care about the country. They only care about their own interests, how to create jobs in their country. If they care about Liberia, they will say, you know what? The millions of dollars we use it to import the rest, let's use it to bring equipment, let's grow the rest in Liberia. But if they do that, they'll be creating jobs for Liberians. So they will not do it. They want to create jobs for their people so that money can go to their country. Now we now have to be smart too. And say, you know what, since they are importing, we Liberians, let's come together and put our little resources together and grow the rest in our country so that our money can stay in our country and our children can have jobs.
You know, Armstrong, you just kind of put it into context. This dishonesty, corruption, lack of trust that is embedded within our system that has grown and nobody to find some kind of injection or tablet to give it. So because my older sister used to work with Rassami Brothers. And I remember those days. Those people, having those corporations, it doesn't make them brothers. Different family people, different people put together.
No, they're not related.
And form a corporation. But our people here, it's just so hard because of other people's past experiences. By the time you, Alfonso, talk something, as soon as you turn back, Alfonso starts strategizing how to dupe you. And so all of these things creates a cloud into people connecting with people with those sort of huge apprehension. Am I doing the right thing? Am I hooking up with the right person? But we can't give up. As long as we are alive, we will continue to take these risks.
My brother, I will fight, and I will fight to make a difference. I will make Liberians to know that not all Liberians are dishonest. I will make Liberians to understand they are still honest Liberians. There are still Liberians that are honest. And if we can unite and work together, we can secure a better future for our children. We can have our own businesses in Liberia than to come to Europe, America, and just be working 2-3 jobs and killing ourselves when the money is right in our country and the foreigners are going there and taking the money. If you travel to Liberia today, majority of the banks in Liberia are owned by foreigners. Foreigners input the food we eat. Even the same.
Sorry, hold on 1 second.
Even our own country saying, I was saying, foreigner man, I was saying, instead of other people can build our home. Our rocks, crushed rock, without the old man that used to sell by the wayside to make some money and send the children to school, foreigner take charge. They sell crushed rock before we can build our home. Even the deck you use to fill the foundation when you are building your home, foreigners are in charge. Our gold, foreigners are in all the bushes, money our gold. Our diamond, foreigners are money our diamond. Everything in our country has fallen into the hands of foreigners. Who are we? How can a group of people just sit and people come from the country and just take over your country? Taking all your money out. Can you go to Ghana and go in the bush in Ghana and go man gold? They will kill you. Even to sell at the local market in Ghana, our market will be not allowed to sell at the local market. Can you go to Lebanon and go sell without market in Lebanon? They will allow you. Can you go to India? They allow you to do what they're doing in our country? All these people you see at the treat when we go to the country. But when they come to our country, we just give them so much freedom that they abuse us in our own country. The time has come that we Liberians must rise. We must forget about tribalism, party affiliation. We must forget about Congo fascinated. We are all Liberians. The time has come that we must unite and take what rightfully belongs to us. We must have a share of our economy. We can sit and foreigners take over everything. We can establish our own bank. We can grow our own food. While the foreigners are importing the food, we should be growing the food. The time has come. And I know it's going to take some time, but I will fight until Liberia can belong to Liberians.
All right. Armstrong, I want to thank you so much for taking your time off this Sunday. I know we have a conversation behind the scenes. Let us know, would we, everything possible we can to blow this trumpet, that somebody, it will clean somebody's works in the ear, and it will go down well with people. And hopefully, and that's a good thing. It's good to be trusted, yeah? People who are already part of your stuff, some of them, if you were some kind of Karakara man, I've not seen any bad tweet coming in here. They're going to say, oh,
the only person that has something bad to say about me is somebody who invests and they want to stay in your wedding, or they want to pay the rent and say they want their money back. That's the only thing we hear about Armstrong. Nothing else. You will never hear anything negative about me. That's all you're going to hear. Nothing. I have put my life into the thing. We got to have something in our country. Enough is enough. We can be working abroad, scaring ourselves when foreigners are in our country, everything. No, listen, it is not wrong for foreigners to live in our country. It is not wrong for them to do business in our country. Mm-hmm. Yes, we should allow that. But it is wrong for us to set for them to dominate. That's what's wrong. You cannot allow people to come out and dominate in your country. You have to be in charge because you have children, you have grandchildren, and they have future. Therefore, you got to be in charge of your economy. Foreigners can live in your country and do business, but the people of the country must be in charge of the economy so that our money can stay in our country, so our country can develop, so our children can have jobs. That's what I'm saying. I'm not against foreigners living in Liberia and doing business in Liberia. I'm going to say, as Liberians, we have to rise and own our own stuff in our country. Yes.
Okay. Well, Armstrong, I want to thank you so much for your time this evening. I see your resilience. your strength, the passion, your willingness to get things done. You are tired, you are sick of this thing here, and since nobody is willing to do something, you are taking the bull by the horn. And I think we must all
I will
rally
take it by the
around,
horn.
to get this
Even
going.
if I eat dry rice in America, I'd rather eat dry rice. There were times that would be people who come and cut our light, cut our water. I got money in my pocket, but I was decided to pay the children in Liberia, pay the salary, buy food for them to eat, and sleep in darkness.
In America.
In America. I have given my life for this. Liberia must change. We're not going to say no more. It will change by force.
Thank you so much. Any final word for Liberia, Mama Liberia?
Thank you very much for having me, my brother. My fellow Liberians, this is your brother Armstrong JARGBAH, the wisdom eyes of Liberia. The mind, the thinking, the understanding is what makes you a human. You become what you think. You can do nothing more than how you think. Where your thinking stops is where your life stops. The time has come that we need to unite. Forget about the nonsense called Pongo and Native. Forget the nonsense called how they call or party affiliation. I belong to the party, I belong to the party, and you're insulting one another for the stupid politicians. Forget about those things. Forget about which country you came from, your tribalism. We are all Liberians, we are one. We must unite, establish our own businesses to compete with foreigners in our country so that we can secure a better future for the next generation, our children. If we don't do it now and we are gone, our children will be security for foreigners. They'll be horse girls for foreigners. Our girls will be prostitutes for them. Our children will be without hope. Our people will not be able to afford to live in our cities. They will have to move back into the interior part of the country because the good part of the land will belong to foreigners. We got to wake up. We got to rise. We got to unite. We got to take back what rightfully belongs to us. Liberia belongs to Liberians. And the only way to take back our country is to establish our own businesses, to have a share of our economy. And the only way we can do it is to unite. I'm calling on all Liberians to join Agricultural Liberia. Let us come together, establish our own businesses, so that our money can stay in our country, so that our children coming out of university and those who were not able to go to school can have a job and make a living. May God bless you. May God sanctify these words into your heart. Again, this is your brother Armstrong JARGBAH, the wisdom eyes of Liberia. Thank you.
The wisdom eyes of Liberia. Armstrong JARGBAH. See you at Agriculture Liberia. I love that name so much. It's a holistic name. It pictures, it captured the destiny of our country and where you want to see the country going. You were saying Armstrong family, blah, blah, blah.
No.
Agriculture Liberia. The longevity of this institution, I can see it. My dear brother, thank you for sharing those wisdoms with us. Hope to have you at any time, any hours. Let us know. And like I said, anything you want to do public relations wise to get the message up, let us know at no cost. That's our contribution to having civil conversation on this network. It was what a great Sunday today. Guess what? Since the year I just went to church, I managed to go to church today. So it was a timing thing for us to have this conversation here. Thank you so much for this beautiful Sunday. Okay. All right. Well, folks, that's it. And that's what Madam Warner here is arguing. The wisdom eyes of Liberia. We are proud of you, sir. Indeed, he is. Sometimes you ask people to help, to come in. If they don't do it, move along. There are other people there who are slowly waiting to see how you get things started, see how much is invested into it. Then they can form part of that. So Armstrong decided to do it after reaching out, and people are not doing it. He said, well, let me take the bull by the horn. And yeah, some of you guys initiate making investment into this. I want to thank you so much this afternoon, evening, morning, depending on your location, for sharing this event with us. I am Afonso Zian. So meanwhile, in the meantime, we are getting some news information coming in here. Let's see if we can share those news. I will be right back. We are now getting information from inside Liberia. Sources, officials, some other officials are telling us with the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that the potential meeting is underway right here in the U.S. You can recall recently the government of the Republic of Liberia calls for the closures of the consulate in Minneapolis, Minnesota. The board of directors, board members, and community leaders quickly convened an emergency session to meeting to robocalls got into effect to engage the government. Our own senior contributor broke the news here that there was a stay on for 3 months, pending government interventions or conversations. We have now been told, to multiple sources has confirmed that the meeting is likely to take place. The government, in good faith, 2 senior ministers will be traveling to the United States, and we are now hearing this meeting is most likely coming to take place, perhaps at most this weekend. We yet to verify the authenticity of this information, but we have been told by source inside the Ministry of Foreign Affairs that is most likely. The president has given a go-ahead. We are anticipating we'll be reaching out with the executive or the leadership of OLN to confirm this. But from all indications, that's what we are hearing. And a source close at the embassy near the capital to Washington, D.C. is speaking in that same tone, in that same direction. Just told LPR New England Bureau, wait and see. Good news is in the making. The delegation will be here. As to when, that is still unclear. But which, of course, is a good news. Until then, I'm Afonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. So I want to thank you so much sharing your morning, afternoon, evening, this Sunday with us, right here. Today, we're taking you inside the agricultural industry of Liberia. My guest was ARMSTRONG JARGBAH, the CEO of Agricultural Liberia Industries. I want to thank Brother JARGBAH for today's program. It was quite fascinating learning point. By God's willing, we're going to be back here again. Comes tomorrow, Friday Brand Working Week, when the team of panelists and contributors of the Liberia Public Radio will be right here in the spin room. Until then, folks, have a pleasant evening. And I'm going to be leaving you with this song here. Don't wait. Don't wait. You don't have to wait until things get bad, things go off. You want to jumpstart and get it going. Have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
DJ Square Production Classic today.
Oh, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Oh, yeah, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Don't wait, yeah. Don't wait. Don't wait, my brother, don't wait. Don't wait. My sister, don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I'm in the hospital. Don't wait. Don't wait. I'm dying. Don't wait. Don't wait. I need your help. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Please help me. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. Don't wait. I need you help me now. Don't wait. Don't wait till I die. Don't wait till I die before you help me. If you want to help me right now. Don't wait, though, sister. Don't wait. I said, don't wait. My brethren, don't wait. Don't wait till I die before you help me. I need your help. Help me right now. I'm in the hospital, lying on my sick bed. I just need you to help me one more life. and Jehovah will bless you. Don't wait till I die to rain cast and get my body to the grave. I said, don't wait when I die before you praise me. Don't wait when I die to cry for me, man. Oh, don't wait when I die to post my photo. This woman was so sick. She was saying at a point of day. I said she went from place to place, but she could not get the treatment she needed. Finally, her son took her to the hospital. And the doctor said they should prefer pound of blood. But this woman could not afford the money. Oh yeah, giving her son could not afford the money. He left the mother at the hospital. He went to family member. He went to Uncle Johnny place. He said, Uncle, my mother is at you. I left my mother at the hospital. And the doctor said, we should bring Papa no blood. Uncle, please help my mother. Uncle, help my mother. Uncle, I beg you, help my mother. Please help my mother. Oh, uncle, help her before she dies. Johnny looked in her face. He said, my son, I don't have no money, oh. My son, no money, oh. What tell your mama say? I don't have no money, oh. I will see what to do. But next week, my son, no money, oh.
What a beautiful gospel music fading away right here this evening. That's our man, the CEO of Agriculture Liberia, ARMSTRONG JARGBAH. I want to thank you so much for your time. Barry, Pee-wee, Eugene, Darit, Walnut, thank you so much. Our own sister Goyot is based in Minneapolis. Edward Marion, our Zion is there at Rosalie Ellis. Thank you so much. What a quite and fascinating conversation here. And that's what the songwriter said, literally, we shouldn't wait as well. Bibat Conant, Thomas, thank you so much. Mirta, Stella Herent, thank you for your time this evening, for being part of today's program. Eric Pent, Somponic, I love this name, Somponic. Somponic, thank you so much. Mimi, it's also already part of what is ARMSTRONG is doing, to turning the wheel, trying to get their country in their own destiny, and that's why it's good. So we all have to follow suit. Peter Wilson, Aliu Bisamba, my man Mike Dane, thank you so much. Ek Ibra, Jeremy, there is a salute, ARMSTRONG. I salute you, Sir ARMSTRONG. Esther, thank you so much, and all of you great folks, Corrector, Jenington, Momo, Sharif, Victoria, Tapet, all of you guys, thank you so much. Brown Hinnant, and of course, and all of our great people to round off Jala, Bestie, Nelson Colley, all of you people, what a great way to acknowledge you, sharing your time with us here. Cephas, Prince, Ansult, of course, Samuel Abraham. We want to thank all of you so much for being here today. That's how we're going to draw the curtain down. By God's willing, same time, same station. So we'll be here tomorrow with more programming. Please also let us know if there are things you want us to talk about. It shouldn't be politics. Eric, Esther, Mulba, all of you guys, our man, Tawala Hinan, thank you so much. You always Kopo, ice cream, Sibaba. I hear you. Tom Mawlot, Dicey Davis, thank you so much. Corina Mo, Stephen Menand, OJs, also our own senior contributor, May Koto Blessing Jala, based in the Garden City. Thank you so much. And not forgetting my own boy right here in the Bay State of Massachusetts, Jerry Sapi, is the Secretary General of the Boston District Association National Branch. Thank you so much for chipping in. John Fortis, Sando Johnson, I believe Sando is the Vice President of the Liberian Community Base in Pennsylvania. I'm sure that Sando here. Sando, thank you. Joy Young, thank you. Flomo, and all of you's great guy here. James Fremont, Davis, Franco Pierce, and namesake. Thank you so much. Galford Sherry, Roswin Khan. Not forgetting my own friend and brother, way back down to Ghana Special Project School. Legendary, but man, he retired now, my man. Robert Davis, Big Joe. Big Joe, it's a one-time legend, goal striker, but hey, man, America, he can't retire. He's not playing football again. Dr. Kula, I believe Dr. Kula is here. Dr. Kula, thank you for sharing your Sunday with us here, for always chipping in your views, your opinions, always accepted. Welcome here. And we are still open to learning new things here as well. All right, Dave Colley, James Saki, and my man, Arthur Solo from the land of immigration area there, Nebraska. I mean, my people don't correct, so don't ask me for my people. All my people, I can't people everything correct. Flomo so bad. Guys, thank you so much. Of course, my own boy, Drake Sayapola, Executorate of the Voice of Sound, always there to get the news to his people as well. Thank you for your services to your people. I know this is an ultimate sacrifice. We talk and talk and talk. Dave Colley, everybody. Let me just give it out this Sunday here for just sharing with us. Amandu Stewart, our man, Frank Davis, Eric Davis, of course, Thomas Williams, Esther Howard, the ambassador himself, Ambassador Lucifer S. Dan. Good evening, good afternoon. Thank you so much, Ambassador, for all of your great work. I'm quite sure the clinic is running. I'm not sure, but hey, it's fun time so we can have a conversation, the status of your project. That's another awesome way of giving back to the people. I don't know why the people, our brothers and sisters in the back home, are not realizing numerous Liberians making contributions, significant one impact. But when it comes to a job, then they say we won't take their job. But when people like Roosevelt Dan, Armstrong, and many of you others that are doing things that we just do not know, when it comes to be accommodated into society, then they draw that line of demarcation. So that is just being disingenuous, or because people have pressing their minds against us. We need to fight back. We need to fight back. Angel Brown, Amos Wallabat, E. Melvin, God Favored Mountain. There you go. And of course, our own Mr. Sam Che D. Jackson, right here from the Bay State, Ellis. Thank you so much. Edmund Keto, Lavetta Advoca, Bendo Fumblet, Derek Jala, Stephen C. Mayors, and the list go on. Wilson Boy is our primetime viewers and listener. Martin Doe, Alison Mamin, Sam Jack, Joseph Hinent, Asata Sharif, Ato Ningot, and of course, Popo Crew Boy, Klapi, Unanwanao, and of course, Sierra Jones, Middle Hammond, and all of you great, great guys. That's how we're going to draw the curtain down here this evening. I'm already going out of breath calling these names here, but I want to thank you so much, and that's how grateful, deeply we are. Every time you come here, we'll learn a new skill, we'll learn a lot. Your tweets, your comments, your participations energize us to do what we are doing. Remember the Green Revolution, and what Armstrong is simply saying, we must be able to take care of our own belly in that Liberian plan. We don't have to wait for people. And he was very crystal clear. He's not against people coming to this country. We came, we all too from different places, we came here, but they allow us to do our part. They are doing our part. Or he's calling us for us to be more independent, to be able to do something, to be able to make use of our rich land, God-given land. And hopefully the politicians and those who have the authority will open their eyes and trust some of these librarians who are doing an extraordinary job. Like this man here. Can you imagine somebody, people you have not seen, and he was able to trust, confide in them, send money, high-end money, tell his wife. How many of you are willing to do that? How many of us to tell, look at your woman, sweetheart, gave your car away. What you want to do? I want to be a radio station. Who, me? That you think they will slam you with a frying pan. But he took that, he defied conventional wisdom. He defied what people, he did not allow people to define who he is or determine his destination, because there was a focus. He was consistent and persistent in his decision, and he was prepared for it. And that's one good thing. You got to be prepared for things. Maybe doing it doesn't mean you can do it. Maybe you need to seek consultation, things that she are willing to let go. That is very, very much important. We need to be discussing library in totality, not to cherry pick or what the audience or what people want to hear. And this is why sometimes we tell you why you don't really want to hear. Here's the politicians are there discussing about the economic plan, which has to do with the productivity, how we can feed ourselves, how it can be done differently. I remember those days when Dole came up with that green revolution. There were ministers, they were forced. You got to get a farm, you don't get a farm, you fire. Where is it now? So why are we just always people who like to manage crisis when in fact we can manage crisis? So why not prevent this crisis from occurring? I think that's the goal of Armstrong. We all know the fall of the great Soviet Union. The Cold War, because they could not feed themselves, and that's how America today. They were neutralized. We can't even be relying on Cote d'Ivoire. They are good neighbors. They help us. They do everything, but we can't even, it's insufficient to depend on them to provide electricity. What happens when it becomes a rough diplomatic edge with Cote d'Ivoire and Liberia, and they say we want to switch you off, then we remain in darkness. That's the danger to be that sort of parasite to live on other people, because they literally regulate and control your activity. And that has to do with national security as well. Imagine when your country go into darkness, because you and the country have policies different, or some sort of rough surface, rough edges on a diplomatic level, and you screw. This is why we need to ask these people, the equipment, those who even want to be. No one should be exempted to have these conversations. That's why we should be focusing on that. What are you planning for the agriculture industry? What are you planning for the health industry? What are you planning for the educational industry? How much are you willing to invest? It's not just only telling the people, go back to the soil. They must carry their toes and their fingers. What are they carrying? Where are the materials are they going to go with to work? It's not just about saying quality education, quality education. When you're talking about quality educations, and then Sissy and the other folks who are in that professions, who are teachers, they will be asking you, how much are you willing to invest to train teachers? How much are you willing to pay professionals who will go there to mold the minds of the people, or even those that are there? How can you have them, how can you make them to be contained in those professions? You talk about health, the nurses, the doctors that are here willing to go. Are you willing to step up their wages? Or even those that are there, are you willing to pay them good, give them good attractions, benefits, so that they will be able to go to job? When they are due to job 8 o'clock, they will be there. That's what happened, because people don't pay. People don't get paid for what they work for. So they go to work 1 time, 2 times in the month, they still get their pay because they're not even coming anyway. But when you are paying people according to their competence or thing that they can do, the fruit they can bear out, trust me, when you say 9 o'clock, they will be there. Because why? If they are not there, you fire them. Somebody will go there, but you're not paying them. So say I got to go past 1, 2, I got to do my extra before I can get stuff. And this is how it becomes a problem and the field process starts. So we need to jumpstart all of these major components of our society. It is time to have this conversation. And those of you who are supporting these people, for God's sake, don't just support because you want to be support. It's not about that individual. It is about the country, because the country will exist without these people. Where is Mr. People, your president, Mr. President, your people today? You remember that slogan? During the 80s and 90s, in the political process in Liberia, these individuals are faded away. They are off the stage, but the Republic of Liberia is still standing tall. And this is why Liberia must be the torch, it must be the forebearers of our conversations, not necessarily the one who stands in the gap, who we see them visually as maybe you call political leader or whatever, which of course you have the right to do. But we are talking about the sustainability and the continuity of the land called Republic of Liberia, because we want that country without you, me, or her. Let the country remain where it is, let it be a nation. That is our ultimate goal. And this is why we need to have these safer conversations where you can agree and disagree with me. You can express your views and opinion, but it must be done in the safer context. That's what a civilized man called conference, round table. You sit down to persuade and convince me that your argument is more logical or applicable to what is unfolding in Liberia. Not just cussing. As a result, we allow these politicians to backslide, or without them having this conversation that we intend to have. If we can exercise a little bit of tolerance and patience for the good of our country, and questions our own, those who support them, to say, wait a minute, why are you seeking for this office? How do you intend to govern? How do you intend to lead? What makes you perfectly suited for this position that you think you're going to have it done differently than what we have now? What kind of ministers, what kind of people do you intend to have in government? How do you intend these people will influence your decision when you are here? When we begin to ask these consequential questions to our leaders, when they go to bed, they wake up, they know that they are working for something, and they will be serious. But for every time anything comes out of their mouth, we clap, we cheer, then and lift them up higher. Baku, it's not helping, or it has not helped us in the past, and it will never help us. How many more days today? Nigeria elections next will be coming, what, October 15? Today is January 20. Think about it. Where can we find the policies of these people to address these major issues we are talking about, where Armstrong is talking about? Where can we find it? Who willing to come to be the face of this campaign, to have this conversation, to ask these tough questions? But the politicians have been very strategic. They have planted their own network within the system where they see comfort to go and have these conversations, and they just go back and people just cheer them and facilitator, anchor, to presenter, and just shake their head without asking any follow-up question. Anything comes out of the mouths of these politicians is yes, sir, and they allow them to go. And they feel more secure going to this network, because why? Is where they're going to throw all their red meat and there will be no follow-up questions. Unfortunately, it is our taboo on this network. So whether they come or not, we still have the ability to have these conversations because we trust, we believe in you. Sometimes you do not agree with us, with our talking point, but yet you come here and he says something. What is in the mind, factor in. So some of these places you go to process news, you eventually act on those things that you receive because you process it and you will act on them. They build in your mind. So be careful what you listen to. Don't listen to falsehood, innuendos, mischief. Listen to news that will be a little bit critical. Be objective, balanced, where you'll be able to express your view. And this is why we do not sanction views and opinion yet. As long as you remain safer context, in policy with our own institution, you are at liberty to disagree with me, the panelists, or whoever is a facilitator here. You can tell me, so you're a CDC man, oh, you're a Liberty Party man. Nothing wrong with that. That's your view, that's your opinion. Does that suggest I am? Absolutely not. But our people, little things get under their skin. Even the presenter, the angered, somebody who has an opposing view of their side comes on their live feed, they black them. Why? Because they do not want to be exposed. If you're exposing government official, you're exposing opposition, why may you think, say, the other person, they too, they can have a say about you? Why you think people can have opinions or views about what I do as well? They have the right to do that. I can disagree with them. I can give my version. But until these politicians, these advocates, group calling themselves advocates, they can have that political tolerance and be able to tell people, I am supporting coming, this is coming policy, A, B, C, Y, D, that's what I'm supporting. I'm supporting Joseph Boyka, A, B, C, Y, D, this is what I'm supporting Joseph Boyka. I am in support of the Cuban president, which of course they have the right to do, A, Y, B, C, D. Must be able to listen to all events and see what makes sense for us to make informed decision. But we'll throw everybody in that basket, then of course, we are not doing good. Thank you so much and have a pleasant Sunday for sharing your time with us here on this network. Sissy, I got a good news for you, but I will wait because I'm tired of giving this news here. I don't want to be a, but there's a good news because they are consented. This time around, if it doesn't happen, I have something on the record to say, this is what I heard. And based on that, that's how I made a proclamation. But in the meanwhile, we are now hearing that the government of Liberia delegations will be here soon for the meetings. That will be an interesting meeting. We are doing everything possible to make our presence felt, to give those outside of Minnesota a clear sense of what is happening. Until then, have a pleasant evening. Bye-bye.
Everybody, everything's going bad. The situation getting worse. Everybody in the country getting mad. Dishonesty, poverty on the rise. The leaders them making empty promises with no damn strategies. Yeah, this is better days, money in the pockets. Oh, after holidays only for the bosses.